South Park has always been known for pushing boundaries, making bold jokes, and poking fun at just about everyone in the public eye. Ever since it first hit TV screens back in 1997, this animated series created by Matt Stone and Trey Parker has never been afraid to cause a stir. Whether it's religion, politics, celebrities, or current world events, nothing has ever been off limits. That reputation is alive and well in season 27, and now the Paramount CEO himself is openly defending the show's latest politically charged direction, even as it draws heavy criticism from some very high places, including the White House. Season 27 of South Park has leaned heavily into political satire, with several episodes taking direct aim at former President Donald Trump and his administration. This isn't exactly surprising for longtime fans. The show has tackled political figures and events for decades. But it's clear that this year, the spotlight on Trump is sharper and more deliberate than before. And with a polarized political climate, that has naturally triggered plenty of debate. Things heated up when it was revealed that the new season premiered after a lengthy and costly contract battle between Paramount and South Park's creators. That dispute ended with a staggering $1.5 billion deal, a number so big it made headlines on its own. The agreement wasn't just about keeping the show running. It guaranteed 50 new episodes over the course of 5 years and locked in exclusive streaming rights for Paramount+. Given the amount of money involved, it's clear the company is deeply invested in South Park's future, no matter how controversial it might be. But controversy came quickly. According to a CNN report, the White House itself has criticized Paramount over South Park's season 27 episodes targeting Trump. It's rare for a TV comedy to get a direct reaction from political leaders, but South Park is not your average show. From mocking religion to making fun of celebrity scandals, Stone and Parker have built a career on ruffling feathers. So, to them, it's just another day.
Honestly,
at the
they have
office.
had such a good career.
Paramount CEO David Ellison
I feel like
isn't
people
shying
look
away
upon
from
their
defending the
commentary
show.
favorably.
He openly described himself as a fan of
For a long
South
time to
Park and
come.
praised its creators for their unique style of comedy. He called Matt and Trey equal opportunity offenders, meaning they don't just target one political side or group, they go after everyone. That's been true throughout the show's history, from episodes mocking Al Gore's environmental campaigns to skewering liberal and conservative politicians alike. Ellison's message was clear: South Park has always done this, and Paramount isn't about to tell them to stop now. It's worth noting that Paramount's stance comes on the heels of another big political-related moment for the company. They recently agreed to a $16 million settlement with Trump and the White House after
What
a
am I
lawsuit involving
watching?
60 Minutes, where Trump claimed the program
I
portrayed
didn't do
him
that great
unfairly.
either, but holy
Not
fuck,
long
we are
after,
two peas in a
CBS,
pod.
which is owned by the same parent company, canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, citing financial
What a fucking
struggles.
iconic ending.
That move got people talking, with many
It was a
wondering
nice
if
try.
South Park could be next on the chopping block because of its political nature. But Ellison's defense suggests that South Park's creators don't have to worry about being silenced. The $1.5 billion contract already makes canceling the show a terrible business move, but now the CEO's public support basically seals the deal. It shows that Paramount is willing to stand by Matt and Trey, even when their work sparks political heat. The first 2 episodes of season 27 haven't held back. They've mocked Trump directly, gone after Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and even taken shots at Vice President J.D. Vance. This is classic South Park, picking the biggest political names of the moment, and running with absurd, over-the-top jokes that still somehow reflect real-world debates. With 8 more episodes to go this season and years left on the deal, fans can expect plenty more political jabs in the future. South Park's approach has always been to treat all sides with the same level of comedic disrespect. While the current focus happens to be on Trump and his allies, longtime viewers know the show could just as easily turn its sights on prominent Democrats next. It's this unpredictability that has kept the show fresh and relevant for more than 2 decades. Even if you don't like one week's episode, the next one might target someone completely different. The controversy hasn't hurt South Park's numbers, quite the opposite. Since the start of season 27, ratings have shot up, and it's currently the most watched series on Paramount Plus by a wide margin. Clearly, people are tuning in, whether they love or hate the political humor. In fact, part of South Park's formula is that it almost invites angry reactions, knowing those reactions will fuel more conversation and curiosity. There's also a history here worth remembering. South Park has been banned in multiple countries over certain episodes. It has mocked sacred religious figures, world leaders, and sensitive tragedies, and each time, the outrage only seemed to make the show more famous. In that context, Season 27's political focus isn't really breaking new ground for the show. It's just following the same path it's always taken. When Ellison calls Matt and Trey equal opportunity offenders, he's basically summarizing the entire South Park philosophy. They don't see comedy as a safe space. They see it as a place to push limits. And while that kind of approach can alienate some viewers, it also builds intense loyalty among others who appreciate its willingness to go there when other shows play it safe. It's also important to recognize that Paramount probably knew exactly what it was buying when it made that $1.5 billion deal. Nobody invests that kind of money into South Park expecting clean, controversy-free content. If anything, they likely counted on the show's ability to generate headlines, positive or negative, as part of its value. In today's streaming world, attention equals subscribers, and South Park has proven it can deliver both. So what does this mean for the rest of Season 27 and beyond? If the past is any guide, the political satire will keep coming, and it might even escalate as major events like the—
We'll watch this shit.
You better not f this up.
I need my drug, I need my love. This is pulling up and sucker some. Hey, how y'all doing? Aaron told y'all I was coming, right?
Of course you did.
Alright, good to see you. What's going on, bro? How you doing, huh?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you, man.
What's up, man? Nice to meet you. I'm Nick.
You know Nick, right?
No,
That's my right hand man. Pots and pans, 100 grand. Yeah.
Alright.
You wanna go to skate park?
Sure.
Do some tricks?
Yeah.
You still be popping wheelies?
Yeah.
Alright. Hey, bro, you got multiple
Pop a wheelie.
vehicles. Can I ride one? What's up?
If you want, just don't put it up.
Damn. What these 4Gs? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna let it rock for right now. You freestyle this?
I got it.
Alright, my bad, gang. I mean, like, I'm just trying to make sure.
I've been doing this for years, bro.
Oh, you a vet at this point?
Yeah, bro.
It's a little slippery though, it just rained.
Bro,
Oh, damn, you cruising.
I tell you I'd be walking at the gym.
Yeah, bro. You sent me like a 5-minute video. You was standing the whole time.
I can stand for Al now. Al straight.
Damn, nigga, you going crazy. You ready, Freddie?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
There's some Miami life.
It's Orlando.
Orlando. I was in Miami 2 years ago. There were a lot of bad bitches there.
Wait, there was a lot of what?
Yeah.
What's the BBL? Yeah, it's the BBL. Bro, first time I went to Miami, all I seen was BBLs left and right.
Dude, it's Miami. What do you expect? The last time you saw me, you was at that party.
What party?
I had a grad party.
Tell me how I pull up to Aaron's grad party and he's just surrounded by all these honeys.
Dude, I told you I got.
You got them on deck?
Dude, I had them in the palm of my hand.
Wait, really? How many you got, like, that easy access to?
The count.
For real?
Yeah. Once you get the kids, then you get the kids.
So you bagging milfs? Or like what's going on, bro?
The honeys have kids.
Okay.
They little, so they automatically come to the chair because they're not used to seeing people in wheelchairs.
So you low-key got the benefit. You listen to your handed. James, can you, like, you know what I'm saying, support him with what he's saying right now?
Nah, that's facts.
That's facts! Yeah! And you got backup. That's how we know.
We got eyewitness testimonials.
Eyewitness testimonials. Yo!
I went to a wedding in October. I found the really hot girls, got their attention, hit them with a smile, and then I stole the show.
The referee didn't step in?
The fuck
Federal
is
President
this?
Trump announced he was taking a major step today to crack down on crime in Washington, D.C.
And the commander-in-chief says that he is using the National Guard to control crime and take over the city's police department in D.C. and our D.C. bureau chief, Ben Kennedy, live in Washington with much more on this one. Ben.
Well, Calvin, Nicole, the White House says it is a fact crime is out of control here in D.C. One reason why Trump took this action.
Wow.
Before a packed White House briefing room, President Trump declared a crime emergency in the nation's capital with plans to deploy the National Guard in D.C.
To help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C.
He signed an executive order Monday invoking powers under Section 40 of the Home Rule Act to take control of the D.C. police and place officers under federal control. Amid reports, Trump is even sending FBI agents on patrol with local police in an effort, he says, to reduce crime.
The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth. Much higher. This is much higher.
His remarks come days after a former DOJ staffer was assaulted in an attempted carjacking, D.C. Metro Police say, with 2 teen suspects now under arrest. But city police say violent crime is down 26%. With the Department of Justice reporting that in 2024, violent crime in Washington hit a 30-year low.
We're at a 30-year violent crime low. We're not satisfied. We haven't taken our foot off the gas, and we continue to look for ways to make our city safer.
In Bowser calls today's move unsettling, but she says she is not totally surprised, as Trump also wants to remove all the homeless from here in D.C. Nicole, Calvin.
Okay, thanks a lot to Ben, and now to the war.
Wild. It almost makes me feel like the fucking Doge employee getting assaulted. Not true. Who knows?
We're gonna dive.
Donald Trump's like, give you $100,000 if you let some people beat the shit out of you. Get a great photo. Clapped him.
Pizza Hut's hooking you up with more of what you love. 4 Lovers Pizzas loaded with your favorite toppings. Order on the app.
The Phoenician Scheme is Wes Anderson's best film since The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Help yourself to a hand grenade.
And the 4-star comedy event of the summer.
Democratic primary voters, 16% would support Buttigieg. That's the highest of any candidate.
Wow,
Pete Buttigieg.
I don't believe it. I think that's just a poll number. I can't see that happening.
I could see that.
Okay, but wait.
Honestly.
16%. Black voters,
moderate,
0.
effective, well-spoken.
Zero. You don't usually see 0 anywhere.
Democrat frontrunner has 0% black support. Wow. Damn. Why is that?
0's low.
For who?
For Buttigieg. Explain that. I mean, why do black voters have this? I mean, he's a nice guy.
Who knows? Nobody knows. It's a mystery.
Yeah, he's under-indexing a little bit with black voters, yeah.
A little. What is that all about?
He doesn't move us. I respect the man. I've interviewed him before. Very nice man, highly intelligent. But
oh, these are so good.
It's so funny how everybody knows, but
Interesting.
nobody says it.
Just run up and
It's
beat
so
his ass.
obvious.
How does that work with my ult?
you gotta be able to move us, bro.
I just gain attack
He
range,
don't
maybe.
move us.
Yep.
You can speculate as to why that is. I'm not going there. He doesn't move us.
Sure,
Democratic
yeah,
primary
talking
voters.
around it, bro. It's the elephant in the room. It sure is. And wow, just say it. He not gonna say it, bro. They not gonna say it. It's so obvious. Can you explain I'm not American? Oh, it's because he's gay. Yeah, because he's gay. That's the reason why. It's a gay white guy. Not gonna vote for him. Yep. There you go. You wait, really? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why. It's pretty obvious, right? I mean, who trying to make this complicated? But there it is. And so what's this here? Just that? That's retarded? Bro, you are thinking that being gay is seen as normal in a lot of the world. You think that being trans is being seen as normal in a lot of the world. You gotta open your mind up. You gotta look, again, like, I'm fine with it. I don't care about it. But you've got to see reality. You've got to look at reality. The majority of people in the world are generally not cool with this. They're not okay with this at all. Like, almost every major religion is not cool with this and not okay with this at all. And so that's really what's going on. But this is in the U.S., right? Yeah, it's in the U.S. You really think that people don't believe this? Yeah, like, I'm telling you, that's what's going on. What does it matter if he likes dick or not? Because people think it's weird and they don't like it. That's it. That's the beginning, the middle, and the end. He gay. That's it. Like, yeah, I don't know what you want me to say about this. It's statistic. Yeah. So it matters. It matters to people if they think it does. And it doesn't matter, like, whether you think that, ooh, you shouldn't be able to do that. Well, they do it. They do it. That's it. And people just flamed Destiny for sucking dick 4 minutes ago. Ooh, yes, there it is. That's right. There's so many people living in their own bubble, shocked to see it. You gotta understand that the influencer culture that you're consuming content in on a regular basis online is the fact, like, that's not normal reality. Being okay with a random Joe on the street being gay has a different weight to it than the head of a head policymaker of the country being gay. Yeah, people think that if you're gay, there's something wrong with you. If you're trans, there's something wrong with you. So because so many people think that, and this is especially true in other countries. Like in the U.S., it's not as true. But in a lot of other countries, there is. I'm not, look, I don't give a fuck what other people do. I've always said this, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm willing to work with people that are crazy if they can help me get what I want. But my point is that a lot of people believe this. A lot of people think this. And a lot of people publicly accept, but silently resent their inclusion in politics, social media, and media in general. If you can't see that, you're not looking for it. And worse than that, you're trying to not see it. Being gay and acting gay are different? Nope, it's not. Not for some people. I'm telling you guys, like, it's actually that simple. There's nothing wrong with being black, but a lot of people thought, it for a long time for Obama. It's literally the same thing. There are a lot of white people that will not vote for somebody because they're black. There's a lot of Hispanic people that will not vote for somebody because they're black. Do I need to say what would happen in places like China? Ooh. So, Obama wasn't openly gay? You're right. Yeah, of course, right? He didn't say that he was gay. No, that's a good point. And so my point is that because tribalism, and so denial is ignorance and bliss. And so that's really that's the point, right? And China, they wouldn't even make it on the ballot. No, exactly. And so some religions won't reform Western society, so that's what's going to happen in the question. Chatters don't understand the real world, go outside. Yeah, there's too many chatters that live in a Western media bubble, and because of the Western media bubble that they exist in, they end up confusing themselves and fucking themselves over and deluding themselves into thinking that their viewpoints are delusional. So half the country voted for Obama because Obama is half of both race. That's a good one. I think that Obama's race did play a huge role in how people voted for him. Absolutely. Of course. It's delusional to say otherwise. It's the same reason with Kamala Harris. It's the same reason with Hillary Clinton being a woman. Yeah, are you gay if you only have sex with yourself? Would you agree that femboys are not technically gay? Look, bro, just do whatever you want, okay? If you like femboys, go ahead. I don't need to fucking justify it. I think it's because the way these people are defended and protected on social media, they think they transfers that to the real world. Yeah, exactly. And I think that also, and this is something that I've heard from multiple minority friends that I've had when I've had conversations about this. And so, again, this is an anecdotal evidence thing, but those of you guys that are minorities, who, you know, like maybe, it's impossible to say because it's like just literally a chat, but I've had multiple people tell me that one of the reasons why a lot of minorities don't like these identity groups is because, and again, they're speaking from themselves, is that they view that these identity groups have effectively found a way to co-opt the legitimate disenfranchisement or the legitimate like struggles that their actual minorities have gone through in culture, like for example black people or whatever, or like another race of people, and they've co-opted that and they've managed to take it for themselves. So they've effectively, like, there's this system and this apparatus that's made to, you know, effectively fix long-standing like financial inequalities or something like that. They're abusing it, right? Yeah, they're effectively abusing it whenever they shouldn't be. And so that's what I've heard a number of people who I've talked to that are minorities about this say. They don't all think that, I'm sure, but that's it. So just tribalism? I don't know what you want me to call it. They're not wrong in a way. Well, it doesn't matter whether they're wrong or not, because they're still going to make a decision on it. And this is one thing that people don't understand, is that just because you disagree with somebody's viewpoint doesn't mean that they can't have it. You know, the extremes make it a norm. Yeah, Dave Chappelle talked about this, maybe, but like, yeah. Anyway, so let's see here. We'll watch the next one here. They had Dr. Phil on too. Here we go.
But why are you going on these ICE raids? I don't understand that. You're a guy who we know for so many years who has been working to put families together.
Well, they can't be. He is going to put them together in Argentina and Venezuela. They're all going to be together in Mexico. Yeah, I don't see that. Of course. There's no confusion here.
To bring families who are apart and heal them. And now you're going on raids with people who are literally separating families.
No, they're not.
Explain that.
Yes, they are.
Bullshit. That's not bullshit.
They have the option to go. They have some locked in prison. They're definitely not together in fucking Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh, man. I never thought Dr. Phil would be based. How did this happen?
He's a huge Trump guy. What the fuck is he talking about?
This. Oh, my God. ICE were healing them? Yes, apparently. Clearly, that's what's happening. They're helping them by deporting them. That's smart. Very good idea.
Now
you can always pop
they're not separating families?
No, if you arrest somebody that's a citizen that has committed a crime or is DUI with the child.
Fucking exactly. Thank you, Dr. Phil. He's cooking. He's completely right.
Child in the back seat, do you think they don't separate that family right then, right there?
But that's not what's going on.
Of course they do.
Of course it is. That's exactly what's going on. Do you think these people just came over? They didn't know that they weren't supposed to come over?
But what you're talking about, I was hearing you in your monologue saying you've got these ICE agents with masks on.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you why they have their mask on. Because we actually have legislators who passed laws about immigration and funded those laws to be executed. They actually pay these agents to go out and do this, and now they're doxing them. They're putting their name, their pictures, their addresses of their families on the internet. They're putting them on telephone poles. So, of course, they're wearing masks so they don't get outed, so people can do violence against their families.
It's so obvious.
It's crazy how scared people are to fucking just have their heart on their sleeve.
He knows
You're someone who does this type of thing. Oh, I don't want people. No, I do that kind of thing.
Yeah, duh.
Maybe because it's a bad thing.
Of course, absolutely.
Jesus.
The negative actions against ICE agents are up 1,000%.
Wow, 1,000%. I bet that's random.
The last several months, 130% violence against them. And why them? They didn't make the laws.
That's true. He's right. All they're doing is doing their job. They're just doing their job, and they're fulfilling the job that they're given.
They didn't make that law.
These are
they
things
took
that
that job.
the population voted on. People are mad about democracy.
When
so
their
they
bosses
take
said
it
what they're
out
gonna
on
do,
the
did they ever
lowest
speak
people
up?
possible in order to punish them for playing along with it.
What are you expecting to do? Just not do their job? If you don't like the law, change it. I don't like that law at all. Change the law.
If you don't like it, why are you going?
Because that is the law.
Well, I like it. I think it's great. I think they should deport every single one of them. I don't care if they have to separate the families or not. There shouldn't be any fucking illegal aliens in the country.
He's such a
I don't even see how
heartless
this is a
fucking
controversial
perma
viewpoint.
inside.
Shouldn't have any
For someone
of
who had
them.
such a
I
fucking
love it.
spoiled, useless,
they need to
lack
do
of
it more.
perspective life.
Doesn't matter
He
at
has
all.
big
Like
thoughts,
separating
goddamn.
the families. Well, you shouldn't have brought them there in the first place. You put your family in this situation by doing something that you knew was wrong. And now we're supposed to be the ones that has to accommodate you? Get the fuck out of here. It's emotional manipulation. It shouldn't be taken seriously at all. Any rational, logical evaluation of this would come to the conclusion that you can't have people illegally coming into the country randomly. And also, any logical and rational evaluation would come to the conclusion that they need to be removed. Of course.
No, they can absolutely be integrated. With your demon fucking side eye.
No, I'm just asking. I'm not.
Why could you not help them learn English and help them get a job?
I've looked at
But I
these
don't like
files.
hunting.
It would probably
I don't go
cost
out with
just as
hunters,
much.
But they've got 12. No, wait a minute. They've got the ICE agents I've been on. I've seen the files.
Somebody says it's also emotional manipulation and ICE agents should be masked. They shouldn't if they're government officials. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. If you're worried about it and you're worried about like masked men coming and like kidnapping somebody, then call the police. It's also not emotional
Or you could shoot
manipulation
'em.
whenever you have tangible data.
Like if there's
that
an armed
shows
goon
that there's a lot of violence that's
Who
happening.
gives you any
towards
reason
them.
to believe they might not be an ICE agent?
It's the same reason protesters are masked. Yeah, every special police unit is masked. Yeah, of course. It makes sense, and this is the same reason why the guys that work at that El Salvador prison are masked too. Let me just go back and just show this real quick. A lot of the reason why these guys are masked is because nothing bad will see. Yeah, there we go. All these guards are masked as well because you can't give these people any degree of any degree of credibility, because they will immediately take control over it and they will attack these people. Wanting to unmask them is dumb. The reason why, here's the thing, the reason why you want to mask them, the reason why people want to unmask the ICE agents is so they can intimidate and scare and assault their families. That's the only reason. It's not because they care about identification. It's not because anything
But also
else.
part of the reason they want to have that
It's
fucking
so they
mask
can use these people's identities
is they don't want to
and
be at
then
a student
scare
teacher
them and
there's a
effectively terrorize their
fucking
family.
conference and everyone
Like the
know
ICE
you're a
agents are
fucking
doing? Well,
masked
no, they're not.
kidnapper
They're
with a
simply
gun.
upholding the law. That's the difference. Is that what they're doing is legal, and what random retards on the internet
It would
are
really
doing
cause
is
people
not.
to question their morals a lot more.
And if you don't like that, then you can change the law. But last time we voted on it, it sure seemed like more people agreed with me. So just following orders? Yeah, orders that were democratically voted on by the majority,
No.
or I guess
The
not a
immigration
majority,
stuff polls
it's a plurality
incredibly poorly.
by the largest amount of people in the country. That's correct. They are following orders, the same as every person in the military is. I know you're going to try to make some parallel to, you know, like fucking Nazis or something like this. I'm sorry, but deporting people and families that are in the country illegally isn't the same as burning Jews alive for being Jews. And it's disrespectful to the Holocaust, it's disrespectful to Jewish people, and it's disrespectful to the nature of what Nazis were to delegitimize and try to turn what they did to be anything even remotely similar to deporting people that are breaking the law. It's not even in the same universe.
They've got a rap sheet, 12, 14 different cases long, of child predators that they're taking off the street.
That's
These are
good.
the worst.
Nobody's
first
arguing
that
against
are
that.
taking
What
off
about the
street.
fucking
Who
100,000
would want them
others?
back in their community?
We all agree with that.
Dr. Phil, that was
apparently not.
Hold on, hang on. Answer the question. Who wants those people back in there? These
No one.
are
I
violent criminals.
I keep answering your questions, and you keep saying I'm not answering your question. Nobody wants that.
No one wants them.
We all didn't want violent criminals and gangs, but that pivoted to going to Home Depot. You know,
Exactly. Because they're working for under-the-table wages, they're not supposed to be here, and they broke the law by being here. Well, of course. I don't want illegal aliens at Home Depot that are doing jobs that Americans could do for less money. That's bad.
Except just a lot of shit would get done in general.
Yeah, of course.
Like, yeah, you could get an American
Trump
for it.
came
You have to
down
fucking
the first time from the escalator. He
get
said,
on a
you know, the
4-week
rapists
wait
and the criminals
list, pay double the
and
price.
a lot
It's
of
just
them
not
are.
going to get done for most people. I'm
I
glad you're
assume good
rich,
people.
Asman,
The ones
but
standing in front of Home Depot just looking for an honest day's work for an honest
Cost
day's
is
pay.
a
Those are
concern
the
for most people.
good people, I assume.
No, they're not. In a lot of cases, they are exploiting a system. They are here illegally. They're not paying into the system in the same way that they should be. The people that are employing them are also exploiting the system. They're taking advantage of it. And also, I'm sure that there are hardworking illegal aliens. Sure, of course that happens. But just because somebody works hard, there's a lot of people that work hard at their job, and their job is breaking mirrors off of cars and stealing and selling the mirrors. Just because somebody works hard at something doesn't mean that it necessarily is good. It's dishonest. Yes, a dishonest under-the-table work. Exactly. What idiot assumes they're good people whenever they don't have any way to document or tell who it's they are? Yeah, I think so. And I like Bill, but he's losing on this one. Well, I think that, again, some people don't like the idea of going and arresting everybody at Home Depot. I think it's great. I do. I think it's great. I think get every single one of them with nobody left behind. You know, get every single one of them, deport all of them.
No.
I do not think that they are a net positive for
Oh,
society.
no.
And I think that the more that we remove, the more that we can see that automation is absolutely necessary. No exceptions. No exceptions. Absolutely not. Yep, fish where the fish are. That's right. Yep, got to catch them all. Absolutely. And, yeah, no illegal left behind. That's right. If you hire all Americans, will Home Depot, at Home Depot, won't the prices follow? If the prices go up massively, then I think that we need to look at that as its own independent problem rather than hoping to put a Band-Aid over it by exploiting an underclass of people. I think that exploiting an underclass of people is not the way that you should solve that problem. So, yeah, I think that in some cases their prices will go up. And I think that, yes, it's obviously... It's very true that a percentage and a part of America has experienced a larger amount of luxury and privilege because of the exploitation of third world laborers that are here illegally. This is absolutely true. But removing them is not only the ethical thing to do, but it's also the logical thing to do. Having an underclass of people that don't have workers' compensation, they don't have rights, they don't have Social Security, they don't have any form of representation, they don't have any, type of resolution to anything bad legally that happens to them. They can't do anything. And so there's a broken system. Yeah, it's not slavery, but it's a level of control that is problematic. So yeah, it keeps wages down. Exactly. Does that mean the guy at Home Depot is... doesn't mean the guy at Home Depot isn't child molester, rapist, murderer. That's the point. We don't know who these people are if they came here illegally. That's true. Yeah, some of these people, and also some people can work and they can also be bad people at the same time. Yeah, nobody cares about ethical. They care about low prices. Well, I don't really care a whole lot about ethical either, but and if it wasn't really that, I mean, this is why, we have tons of things that are unethical, like phones, for example. Like, who cares? I don't see people turning in their smartphones because they're made from cobalt mines that children had to farm. But at the same time, you have these people in the country, and they're a huge drain on the system. Like, again, like anybody who lives in a city knows that in any of the cities and the areas where these people are shitholes. They are every single time. So if these people have a positive net impact to the environment and to the country, then why is it that every single place that they're at is awful? I wonder. It's because they don't. And they have tons of family members and people like that come in that are all getting government assistance. Absolutely fucking not.
Why not put them to work so they're not on government assistance? Get them work cards, some sort of ID. No, only have to be authoritarian and violent. Only answer. The rest requires thinking.
Democracy isn't a spectator sport. But judging by the turnout in Dallas this weekend, Texas Democrats are literally risking their freedom to protect us from political rigging. And too many people are sitting at home, watching it happen. If you can't show up when democracy is on the line, don't be shocked when it's gone. I'm Christy Chanel, and this is Sassy Politics. Welcome to Mindfuck Monday, because the news should come with a trigger warning. I'm Christy Chanel, and today, protests, boycotts, Christian nationalism, Project 2025, algorithm hacks, and how our Secretary of Defense is casually normalizing Civil War talk. And none of this is far off, or even hypothetical, because it's already happening. Stick with me until the end, because I'm going to tell you exactly how we fight back, one link at a time. Here's what went down. Texas Democrats broke quorum to stop Greg Abbott's latest redistricting push. Why?
Random thought I had
Because
about
Abbott is on record saying
Trump
Donald Trump
doing
asked
National
him
Guard
to
troops to DC
find
for
5 more
crime.
Republicans. And
Most of the
that's
crime
not some
that caused
cute
this was
political
done by
metaphor.
kids.
That's stacking the
Like,
deck for permanent
Wouldn't it be
control
education
of the House.
be the, like, hey,
The
we should look at
Democrats
these
did what the
schools and what they're doing
Texas
before and after
Constitution
schools?
allows them to do.
Or we'll just have the fucking military.
They left the state to stop the vote. Some went to Illinois, and now I'm hearing some have gone to California. This is legal. It's constitutional. It's a historic move that protects all of us, not just Texans, from a rigged political map. Abbott's response: arrest warrants. Trump's response: call in the FBI. That's a federal overstep. No laws were broken. The FBI has no business in a state-level political standoff. I went to downtown Dallas to stand with the Democrats, but the turnout wasn't what it should have been. The energy wasn't there. And maybe that's because the numbers weren't there.
Growing up as a young Brit, I would get in from a hard day playing Curbsy. I'd flick on the TV, and I would step foot.
It's not a real fucking place, I swear to
To
God.
another world. A world where kids
not
didn't
a
wear
real
school
place.
uniforms. They had massive homes with swimming pools. They were eating Big Macs for lunch. In this same world, heroic American soldiers saved the day. And good would always be evil. Now, at the time, I didn't know it, but I was being raised on a very carefully curated story. A story that imprinted beliefs and attitudes upon me without my knowledge. I was being indoctrinated by American propaganda.
What makes America the greatest country in the world?
So, my friends, I want you to grab your copy of the American Constitution. I want you to flick to the first page. What does it say? Freedom of expression, right? Americans fucking love freedom. They love free speech. And this is definitely true, of course. But what if there was like some people who made films and those films sort of like questioned certain American ideals? That would be a little bit awkward. So America had to do something, right? And it kind of started around about World War I. Newspaper, radio, and films were increasingly becoming tools that pushed messages that the government didn't really have full control over. In 1917, when America joins the war, they needed to get public support for the war effort. But Americans didn't like the concept of propaganda. It was seen as like un-American, a symbol of like pompous European monarchs, and they wouldn't accept films that were paid for and obviously pushing a political propaganda message. And so the Americans had a really good idea. What if we don't call it propaganda, but instead we create a committee on public information, the CPI. So it wasn't propaganda, no way, not propaganda, CPI, baby. The CPI would, go through newspapers, magazines, posters, cartoons, radio broadcasts, public speeches, and very crucially, films. They would put their pro-World War I messages into these things to influence the minds of Americans. And the message was pretty straightforward. The war is righteous, your freedoms are under threat, and it's your duty to report dissent. And so Hollywood, already booming, was now pumping out pro-war films on the request of the government. And this would be the groundwork that would realize the power of cinema to influence the way people thought.
Just one more screenshot, and this SOP is finally done. What the?
Why aren't you using Scribe? Scribe literally does it for you.
What?
Just...
Okay, so now it's like the 20s and 30s, and Hollywood has this kind of image problem. The celebrities are sort of like a little bit naughty, dying of drug overdoses, having sex scandals and affairs, and even murders, and these things were going all across the newspapers. Meanwhile, the films themselves were a little bit risque. I'm talking gangsters, sexual innuendo, even jokes about religion. And so a growing concern from the sort of free speech and liberty-loving Catholic and Protestants who began to campaign against Hollywood for being immoral, saying that they're using the medium of film to corrupt the youth. And so there was a real movement pushing for censorship laws. Hollywood did not want to be under the thumb of the big man, right? They didn't want to have to abide by regulations. It's very complicated. So they made an agreement, a silent agreement, and they created their own industry watchdog, unofficially called the Hays Code. So all of the major studios and their owners came together and created a list of rules that they enforced over the entire media industry. These rules include no sexual perversion, which means gay people, no gays, no interracial romance. You can have a little bit of violence, but not too much violence. Obviously, you can't mock religion or clergy members, and also you can never be sympathetic to criminals. Criminals are always irredeemable. And so what came out was you're only allowed to make films that were moral, clean, patriotic, pro-American, where good triumphs evil and traditional values reign supreme.
The Legion had something called the Legion Pledge, and you have 20 million Catholics that would stand up, raise their hand, and pledge that they would not attend motion pictures that the church deemed unworthy and unholy.
So basically, the studios would have to submit their films for approval. And if the film didn't get approved, then the distributors just wouldn't make the film. And so, in the land of the free, political censorship of Hollywood had begun. Now, I could do a whole bit about how America was willingly letting Nazis come over and regulate American films so that they could be shown in Nazi Germany, like removing Jewish people and stuff. I could do that, but we'll skip it because eventually America would have to break its love affair with the Nazis as it was forced to join World War II. God. So by World War II, the propaganda machine was really built and oiled. It was ready to go. And World War II presented an opportunity for propaganda to be taken to the next level. They created the Office of War Information, the OWI, in 1942, and the Writers' War Board, WWB. Because obviously America have to pretend that they don't like censorship and stuff like this, so these were privately run boards, but the government guided them and funded them. So, and the way it worked is that filmmakers could submit films to this board, and if they liked it, they would get major funding from the American government. I mean, sorry, the privately run business, yeah. But yeah, you could get funding. Just make sure you don't show America as like weak, divided, racist, or imperialistic. Just, go easy on us. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that anti-Nazi propaganda wasn't needed. Of course it was. But by doing this, they had created a precedent in Hollywood. You see, after the OWI was dissolved after the war, government influence into Hollywood didn't disappear. It simply went behind the scenes. What is known as the military entertainment complex created a pipeline between Hollywood and the US military. The military would offer major funding, major access to equipment and locations in return before script approval. So you get films like The Big Lift in 1950, Strategic Air Command, The Bridges of Toko-Ri, and this was all the way back in like the 50s, but this pattern would continue. Films like Top Gun in 1986 were funded directly by the Department of Defense, and that film spiked military recruitment by 500%. The Hunt for Red October 1990, Black Hawk Down 2001, Pearl Harbor 2001, and the Transformer series, which was 2007 all the way up to 2018. So as time went past, filmmakers, they were presented with this strange incentive. It wasn't that you couldn't go and grab a camera and tell some very honest story about the complexity of life, critiques of America, but if you want to make a sick film about tanks and guns and blower-uppers, and if you wanted major funding, distribution, you could have all this, my friends. Just make sure you paint America in a really, 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 really good light. And voila, you have a blockbuster here. But what if new ideas started to spread around the world of what even terms like freedom really mean? What if slowly culture started to change? I just want to quickly take a second, right? Doing this job on YouTube means that I am constantly taking notes, like all the time. And I use my phone and it is a disorganized mess. But that's where today's sponsor, Claude Note, comes in. An absolute game changer for note taking. This small, sleek device attaches to the back of your phone. And with just literally one click, it starts recording conversation. You can use this whether you're in like a work meeting, in an interview, or like a brainstorming session. So basically, you can be fully engaged in the conversation without having to stop and take notes and pause.
Debunking all the key arguments about immigration. I want it to be funny and sort of like...
Claude Note captures everything, from full audio to transcribing every word into text, with like a speaker label to distinguish the different voices of who's speaking. What's amazing is it will provide you like a structured summary and like highlight key points from the conversation, which you can go through and read on your phone. The real magic though is Ask AI. You can literally ask it questions about your conversation and extract insights directly and ensuring the safest storage and transmission of your data. So be sure to check the links below, use my code Jimmy to enjoy 10% off and get an extra 600 minutes of transcription. Anyway, back to the video. So next time you're in America and like at a bar, just grab an American by the hand and just whisper in their ear and say, healthcare should be free. So if you do this, there's about a sort of 60% chance that they will have an aneurysm. And if they don't immediately die, their heart will race, their lips will quiver, and they will sort of spit at you. Free healthcare? No way, you can't have free healthcare because free healthcare is communism. Communism is evil.
I don't believe that our government should be responsible for providing all of us healthcare. I do not like the idea of that.
I don't want the government picking what I can and cannot do.
If everybody has something for free, who's going to pay for it?
Anything that's free, sometimes it's not worth having.
So America, right, despite being the only nation, sort of developed nation, that doesn't have some form of free healthcare, they seem to have this very unique relationship to the word communism. A relationship that even in the UK, as influenced by Americans as we are, even we don't have the same reaction. And of course, the rest of Europe doesn't either. But this attitude, this fear of communism wasn't an accident. During the Cold War, which was 1947 all the way to 1991, the USSR became a global power. And they were a problem for America. And they didn't just fear them because of the potential of nuclear warfare, but they feared them for the potential that their ideas might spread. Ideas like worker ownership, the power of unions, class solidarity. And this was very, very bad for America. In the late 40s to 50s, the US of A descended into a national meltdown over this fear of communist infiltration. A man by the name of Joseph McCarthy, he built his entire political career over accusing people of being Soviet agents with little to no evidence at all. What's more is McCarthy claimed that the United States government, military, and the media was riddled with communists.
Any man who protects communists is not fit to wear that uniform, General. The growing menace of communism arouses the House of Representatives un-American.
Are you now under the direction of the Communist Party?
The fight will continue, regardless of how rough the opposition gets, and rough it will be.
The general gist that he tried to put across, that there was these sneaky communist spies everywhere, sort of like hiding in bushes and bins, and they were all plotting to just overthrow America. But like these sneaky spies were sometimes, they were super sneaky, so like they couldn't find them. And so America set up the House Un-American Activities Committee, the HUAC, with the sole duty to weed out communists from every layer of society. You gotta think, right, if you're trying to find these secret communist saboteurs, these spreaders of dangerous thought, well, who was more influential at spreading ideas than Hollywood. The idea that Hollywood was secretly infested with communists who were using the films to spread communist propaganda, all whilst Hollywood was literally, as we've just gone through, were literally funded by the American government and military to promote pro-war and pro-capitalist messages through their films. Nonetheless, right, a load of actors, writers, directors were dragged in front of the HUAC, and they started being blacklisted from Hollywood. Anyone in Hollywood, you know, a creative arts field, who was suspected of being slightly left-wing were fired and not allowed to work ever again. I don't know if you know this, but usually creative people tend to be a little bit left-wing. Writers, actors, directors were having their careers destroyed on literally just allegations. Now, there was no single official law which banned communist thought from Hollywood. However, there didn't need to be.
Viagra and Cialis, they increase blood flow down there. That's why you can physically perform, but they do nothing for arousal.
And this created an entire culture of fear across the industry. Collective action, class solidarity, unionizing, any idea that was potentially even perceived as being pro-worker was now being labeled as communist and traitorous to the very foundations of America. So let's just think, right? You're a director and you're thinking of making a film. How likely do you think you're going to use your creative freedoms to express any critique of America, capitalism, the system, or promote workers' rights? Do you think you're going to do it? No. You're much more likely to make a film about some dope fucking boxer bro traveled to Afghanistan and single-handedly took on the Soviet Union.
Is some of the greatest fight stuff I've ever seen filmed.
The media that was being pumped out of Hollywood had a very, very clear set of beliefs and attitudes it started to push into the minds of people. That American capitalism and individualism is the only way. Every problem in life has one individual solution. Every injustice in society can be overcome through grit, faith, and one brave man standing up for what is right. Heroes, villains, and a happy ending. There was no moral grey areas, no mid-grounds, no nuance. There was very little like, you know, hang on guys, why is the bad guy bad in the first place? Maybe the good guy, maybe he's not actually that good, and maybe he's part of a system that perpetuates a certain type. Shut up, you filthy communist. There was this really good video I watched which was comparing American and Chinese political philosophy, where it talks about how Americans have a very vertical philosophy. So they start with a base idea. Freedom is fundamentally good, and this fundamental good should be applied everywhere. You apply it in every situation. The more freedom, the more good. Whether that freedom means that kids have to go to school walking through metal detectors so they don't get shot, you know, it's shut up, freedom, good. This binary way of thinking has such deep cultural effects, not just on America, but also directly onto all of the European markets that Hollywood was selling to. America obviously dominates the entire media world. In as early as 1919, 90% of films shown in Europe, Africa, and Asia were American made. Now, it wasn't just like fair game because like Americans are sick. It was basically just ruthless capitalism. From Thomas Edison just putting loads of patents on film equipment, making it impossible to get films into the American market, to the Americans just coming in and buying out whole film industries, crushing the competition, and just pumping their films all across the world. Britain, Germany, Italy had a really thriving film community. Like after the war, when Europe was rebuilding itself, part of the deal to receiving money from America to repair was to open up its market, especially to American films, because they knew the power of films to sell messages around the world. I'm sure the neoliberal revolution of the 80s could not have been done without some assistance from Hollywood messaging in films. We had a very deep pivot in the way we used to think about society through the 1980s with Thatcher, as we embraced very American ideals. Ideas around like the government being tyrannical, the British socialism that came before it was one singular step away from being Stalin. It tried to reframe society that like big businesses were our saviors.
The mind is an attribute of the individual. There is no such thing as a collective brain. The man who thinks must think and act on his own. The reasoning mind cannot work under any form of compulsion. It cannot be subordinated to the needs, opinions, or wishes of others.
We very specifically moved away from a collectivist attitude towards society, that we're all part of a community and we work together to help everyone, and toward an attitude that we are actually a nation of individuals fighting each other for our slice of the pie.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
all of Europe went through this process of like privatization, reducing taxes on the rich, reducing the welfare state. But in much of Europe, leftism is accepted without the instant association with Stalin. Whereas in America, they take someone like a Bernie Sanders, who would be your average European politician, and they see him as a wild radical communist who will make a dictatorship of America. But this actually particularly affects Britain because, like, when you look at a politician like Jeremy Corbyn, they sold the same communist sort of Red Scare tactics over him.
Jeremy Corbyn has always attracted support from the far left, but there is support for Jeremy Corbyn even further to the left. The British Communist Party will stand no candidates in this election for the first time since 1920.
But it's interesting, right? Because when you look at America, they sort of struggle to understand the grey area, right? It doesn't have to be a communist dictatorship or free market libertarian extreme capitalism. Obviously, there's lots of mid-ground between that. But in the American mind, and I think Hollywood plays a massive role in this, it's very hard for them to understand it isn't one or the other. It can be somewhere in between. Obviously, I'm not talking about all Americans. There are many Americans that support Bernie Sanders, etc. But there are large parts in the political class and of society that just can't see it this way. And it's interesting when they have to contend with the fact that many European nations have way higher living standards than America, and also nations that they used to be much bigger than are now competitive. These attitudes that America's number one, capitalism's the best, it's the only way. As time goes past and other nations develop and change, they start to contradict this American attitude. And so, American politicians have to explain it within this binary way of thinking. You can see it with how Americans often talk about the Chinese success, right? The success of China really goes against what America believes.
China's defaulted with us because if you look at what they're doing with the way they steal our intellectual property, our intellectual rights, I mean, it's crazy what they're doing. I mean, there's like no laws that pertain to them. So you can certainly make a case in a court. What they have done to us is incredible. We don't have, and then they come over and they get state dinners. Okay, we give them state dinners.
And the story goes like this, that China opened up to American trade, American tech firms came to China, and China said, in order for you to access our market, you need to share your technology with us and let us understand it. And the American capitalist firms did so willingly, driven by their desire to make more profit. But if a nation somehow starts to grow and outcompete them, it's because they're just bad guys, not playing by the rules, they're cheating. Which just sounds like any basic Hollywood storyline from the last 100 years. But the reason they have to do this is because if they were to just accept that the Chinese state were involved in business and it was successful, it undermines the American mythology. And due to their relentless propaganda, systems can only be one or the other. One of which is good, American capitalism, and the other, evil, tyrannical communist dictatorships. So now, as I explained earlier, right, America, through the force of legislation, power, and big capital, have been able to dominate the entire global film market. And its films, unlike the sort of indie European filmmakers, were created with a different philosophy: mass production. Studios like Universal, Warner Bros, Paramount, they didn't just make movies and works of art, they built assembly lines. Dedicated screenwriters, on-contract actors, costume warehouses, backlot sets, reusing scripts and recycling plots. This content machine, right, this mass production meant that they could compete on scale. They could just flood markets with films. So the spread of American television and film was able to take the day-to-day life of Americans, their culture, their lifestyle, and make it a part of our lives abroad.
It's the car you drive to work, the home you raise your family in, the business you build. Thank you for being our member. Consumers Credit Union.
What you do? Making dinner.
Like most Europeans, most British people, we understand a lot of American jokes and references, even references to things we may have never been to. If they make a joke about a 7-Eleven, even if you haven't stepped foot in one of them, you'll get what they're talking about. And it would impact you, right? Like, I have definitely called a couch a sofa many times. I think even in my weakest moments, I have called a bin a trash can. Ugh. America wasn't just exporting beliefs and politics, but they were actually painting a mythology about America itself and its history. Films like Gone with the Wind basically whitewashed slavery. They made Confederacy seem like a lost noble cause. Mr. Smith painted American democracy as flawed but ultimately virtuous. Shane told you that violence, when done by the right man with a good moral compass, wasn't just acceptable, that it was necessary.
If a man really wants to protect what's his, he has to do it for himself.
These were moral blueprints that trained the entire world on how to see America and its morality on a global stage, like in a benevolent way. They were always the good guy. And they also exploited an image of the American middle-class paradise. To me, growing up, America was this place where every family had like a massive garden or a lawn, a big swimming pool. They had a porch out the front of their house. They all had double fridges, which were always full. 2 cars. The neighbors were always friendly. But what those films didn't show us was how this middle-class paradise was funded by a massive empire, protected by a military, and built on a society that in reality was deeply segregated and insanely unequal. As these predominantly white families we'd see on the television were moving into these houses with federally subsidized mortgages, at the same time black Americans were being redlined. They were excluded and confined to very underfunded neighborhoods.
I
For
still
much
don't know
this
where I'm getting
period
the
of
free
time,
crip
Jim Crow
from.
rules still
Something with my
dominated the
stacks,
South.
I assume,
Lynching
but-
still happened. Native Americans were being displaced and Latino workers were being exploited. And poor white communities weren't living in this paradise either. Many were just surviving in broken towns on the wrong end of capitalism. But none of that stuff really made it into the TV shows and the films. And when Hollywood did attempt to talk about these things, if they wanted to talk about crime, gangs, and ghettos, they'd usually do it in one or two ways. Either they would simply paint them as like these black criminals who were backwards, lawless, and kind of deserved the conditions they were in. You'd see this in things like Menace to Society, Colors, Training Day, or they would show this poverty as an opportunity to prove themselves. You would see this in 8 Mile, Coach Carter, Freedom Writers. A lot of these are great films, but in both cases, there's never really an explanation of the structural causes of poverty, why they're in this condition in the first place. Poverty is rather just taken as a given and shown to be like a test of someone's personal morality. So when you're this young lad in Britain, right, and you're just snorting up all this American propaganda, you don't really realize that you are being indoctrinated. You watch films like American Sniper and you come away and you just have this attitude that military is heroic, that violence is righteous when it's in the name of freedom, and like dying for your country is the ultimate way to be a man. You see films like Social Network and you're taught that great inventions, the technologies that changed the world, didn't come from a team or communities or collective effort that was built off of major state funding that pumped into R&D for many years, but instead no. The great technology, the great innovators were just one lone genius, misunderstood, emotionally broken, but brilliant enough to reshape the world.
I am not a lizard.
Think about it, in a film like Pursuit of Happiness, you were taught 2 things, right? That no matter your background, even if you're a homeless black single father living in toilets and shelters, if you just simply work harder than everyone else, you sacrifice your sleep, your dignity, and your son's childhood, one day you'll make it. The amount of films that exonerate businesses, extreme capitalism, and these sort of dog-eat-dog attitudes, they might sort of make it out like rich people are assholes, but they tend to make the life look exciting or cool or aspirational in some way. Many of the films that I've listed or just shown in the video, they are still some of my favorite films. But when you see them at such a rate and it's so continuous, to deny their ability to propagandize people and train them to think in a certain way, to deny that would be naive. So whilst the Hays Code might not exist these days, the OBI shut down, the Nazi market's closed, to this day the DoD still directly funds American military films, to the very point that they get final approval over the film. Call of Duty isn't directly funded by the military, but they do rub shoulders. And Call of Duty time and time again rewrites pieces of history, real history, and makes Americans out as the good guys rather than when they were the bad guys in reality.
Infinity Ward used this actual highway of death based on the February 25th to 27th, 1991 events where the U.S. Air Force bombarded the Iraqi army leaving Kuwait.
The Russians bombed it during the invasion, killing the people trying to escape. There is a village at the crossroads.
Yeah, the
Sent
Russians.
and his fighters there to prepare an ambush.
Right.
Alex and I.
Post 9/11 was interesting, right? Because in the 90s, you actually did start to see more films that were a bit more critical of American capitalism. However, when America decided to invade Iraq, Hollywood and the entertainment industry went into pro-war overdrive. Every TV show, every film had an Islamic terrorist promoting this fear that you might be in a terrorist attack, all while showing you these heroic macho soldiers. And even when they wanted to show like the horrors of the Iraq war, they didn't focus on the suffering of Iraqis. They mainly focused on the suffering of American soldiers.
Oh, she's got a grenade. She's got an RKG Russian grenade. She's saying to the kid.
You're wrong. Send your ass leftward.
They painted these wars out like they were messy, complicated, bad things happened, but to some degree, they were necessary. And even right now, America allows Chinese censorship of its films. Because China is such a big market for Hollywood, they will remove or downplay black and brown people from the films. They'll also remove LGBT scenes.
It's opening day again, this Beijing theater. Neither Sony, which distributed Django Unchained in China, nor the Chinese Film Board would tell us exactly what was changed.
A lot of these giant corporate entities have business with Saudi Arabia or China. So while we're all going, can we say this joke or not say that joke? On a much bigger level, they have just completely shut down critical content about human rights abuses in China. And I think that's much scarier.
So yeah, I think these days people start to see the hypocrisy of Hollywood more and more. And I think a large part is because many of these myths that America sold through Hollywood, they can only sustain for so long because what if Americans stop believing them? Whilst genuinely critical films and television are a bit few and far between, and they might not quite get the Captain America budget, they do happen. They do exist. The Big Short, I mean, if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. It's one of my favorites. It broke apart why the financial crisis happened due to the greed of bankers and a political class that was just cheering them on. Fight Club, all the way back in 1999, was critiquing American consumerism, capitalism, and like shallow ideas of masculinity. And recently, shows like Painkiller, showing how the privatized American medical system created the opioid crisis. And as a lot of us have grown up in this internet era, these same tools of propaganda are now being repackaged.
I'm hoping you've already seen the news, but if you haven't, allow me to be the one to warn you of the danger. A little public service announcement to keep you safe. If you plan on attending a WNBA game anytime soon, make sure you pack an umbrella, because it is raining dildos in the arenas right now. We've just had our 4th incident of an airborne dildo being ODST shot.
Literally from the moment they saw me.
It's become a trend where
Couldn't
rowdy
move popped.
spectators are sneaking dildos into the arena to launch them onto the court. And it's become so big, in fact, that there are now bets on some markets wagering on if a dildo is going to be thrown, if so, what color, what quarter. It's pandemonium out here. They've even implemented a no-bag policy, or not a no-bag policy, something to that effect of where like they're really cracking down on security, yet somehow some ne'er-do-wells are still mysteriously sneaking these dildos in. Of course, the most obvious speculation people have,
I heard you can take fucking bets on
it. The meta
it.
is most likely they are kegling the rubber cocks in their own buttholes. They're utilizing their prison wallet to sneak the dildos into the arena. However, we do know there have been 2 arrests that have been made. One, Delbert Carver. Side note, I've never even heard of the word Delbert before. It reminds me of the Angry Beavers. Like, his name is pretty close to just being dildo in and of itself. And then another one, the one that's gone most viral, is an 18-year-old named Caden Lopez. And Caden actually broke the magician's code. He divulged the method he used to sneak the dildo past security undetected. And it's far simpler than the speculation. He just put it in his sweater pocket and then unsheathed it and threw it onto the court, then left. But got tackled by a volunteer and held down till police arrived. Now, Caden here is an interesting case because he's got a weaker throwing arm than your geriatric Meemaw. He has an arm built like a wet noodle, it sounds like. He was unable to throw the dildo to the court, so what ended up happening is he threw the dildo and hit a man and his 9-year-old niece. So he's looking at assault charges on top of it, as well as a couple of others, and the man who got struck by it was pissed. And I think understandably so. He brought his 9-year-old niece to a WNBA game. The last thing you're expecting is a fucking railgun dildo coming right at you and your 9-year-old, you know what I mean? So he's actually like looking to have Caden kind of facing some big punishment for it. And then Caden was really singing the blues. He was squealing like, oh, it was so stupid. It was a very stupid trend, a dumb prank that I followed. I'll go ahead and show you all the incidents so far real quick as a little montage of what's been happening.
Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor.
Start in the third quarter. The Sky had 3 quick turnovers.
Hayes gets blocked by Maya Caldwell. Something flies on the court, actually, from...
Got a whistle away from the basketball.
All of this has happened in a little under 2 weeks, so it's only increasing in frequency, and now a group has come forward to claim responsibility for all of it, and it is the lamest faction on Earth, like the most embarrassing group of people this planet has to offer. Crypto Bro Meme Coin Rug Pull Orchestrators. They have now stepped forward, this meme coin. Apparently one of these goobers said, this is empowering to every fucking crypto community to start thinking outside the box, get creative, and fucking do something that makes people actually laugh. Meme coins should make you laugh. The whole mission with this was focus on making an impact in crypto culture. It's another blatant rug pull. I looked at the coin here. I'm not convinced that they're actually behind it. I think maybe one person associated with them maybe did it at some point, but this really seems like just the classic big trend. Let's make a pump and dump meme coin around it to make a couple quick bucks off of the dumbest people on the fucking planet. Again, if you put money into a meme coin, you 100% deserve to lose it. I shed no tears for that. So anyone that loses money on this crypto rug pull, that's inevitable. That's your prerogative. I'm not your fucking dad. You lose all your money doing it, that's fine. Just reading them talk about this shit is just so shameful. I feel like I've wandered into the anime club while they're LARPing. Like, look at the way he talks about the community members here like they're some kind of martyrs and heroes, like on the front lines putting their lives on the line. Listen to this, he literally says that. There are community members out there putting their fucking lives on the line, so the least you can do is retweet. Then begging people for crumbs of attention to their shitcoin so they can rug you. Oh my god. Now, I don't know if they're actually behind it. Maybe a member did throw one of the dildos, but I don't think everyone that's throwing dildos is associated with this coin trying to like pump it up or anything. I think they're just really trying to strike while the iron is hot. We have seen this exact same play millions of times with crypto, where something gets popular and then thousands of meme coins spawn from it, hoping that people will just mindlessly dump money into it to try and make a bag off it, but then inevitably it rugs. And they did confirm that Delbert Carver, at the very least, was not a member of the community, so again, not everyone that's throwing a dildo here is associated with the meme coin plans. It is crazy just how big this has become, where now all of a sudden, with all these moving parts, it ties back to a fucking crypto shitcoin scam. And yeah, I just thought this was a pretty crazy story I wanted to touch on briefly. That's really about it. So yeah.
Got safety protocols? Grainger has the safety pros to call. Shop our vast inventory of safety products at Grainger.com. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I can handle the grind, just not cooking. Factor changed that. My life is always busy and dinner is a struggle. I'm either ordering takeout or eating the same boring meal day after day. I couldn't keep up until I tried Factor.
This man is taking over the internet and he's actually insane. Hello you gorgeous donut. A man named the Ibiza Final Boss has been taking everyone by storm this week. From people in primary school all the way to people collecting their pensions. Chances are you've seen this bloke on your screens at least twice this week. In this video we're going to react to the viral video that is making him ultra famous at the moment. How he's possibly going to become a millionaire overnight because of this. We're going to get into all the numbers, how his girlfriend is severely unhappy with him going viral apparently, and also how he has rattled famous content creators who are already beefing this man. Honestly, this story is incredible. Let's just get into it. Now, you're probably wondering, Cal, what is a final boss? Well, a final boss is, normally in gaming, the final boss before you complete the game. Basically, they're the best of the best. You don't get better than this person. And in Ibiza, it is this bloke. His real name is Jack Kay, and he's actually from my neck of the woods in Newcastle, which I found absolutely amazing, like putting us on the map. Don't know if this is the best way to put us on the map, but we're on the map. Now, he went on a lad's holiday with his mates to Ibiza, you know, just expecting to have a nice break from work, just chilling out with your mates, drinking, doing whatever. However, somebody took a video of him dancing in the middle of Ocean Beach, and he has become an overnight celebrity. Is that a real person? See, AI's getting convincing these days, I tell you what. Bloody hell. If you told someone to draw a final boss from Ibiza, like, this is what it would look like. Like, how is this guy's hairline so straight? People would pay thousands for that. Do you know how many people would go to Marmaris Airport to get that hairline? This bloke's got it just naturally. The talent on show he has ridiculous. I love this look, though, because it's the fact that it's just so perfect. He has the man bag. He has the belt chache. He has the hair. He has the beard that looks like it's been dyed and also drawn on. He has the tattoo sleeves. You can't get more final boss than this. It's just incredible. Like, down to his core, he's committing to the bit. There has been various people that have tried to, you know, take the crown of the Ibiza final boss. There was this bloke a couple of months back who, you know, thought that he ran the gaff, but clearly not. I always knew this guy was a fake. I didn't believe he was the final boss. Then there was these guys, like, was this like last year or the year before? They thought they were the Ibiza final bosses. I mean, they've got the sleeves, they've got the skinny pants, but they're nothing on Jack. Also, this guy on the left, like, he does have the painted on beard, I'll give him that, but he just didn't breathe final boss energy like Jack does. And obviously Wayne Lineker, who many people over the years have hailed as the final boss, I still don't believe that he's got the aura of Jack. Like, you look at Jack on the dance floor and your eyes just gravitate towards him. It's like no matter who is on the dance floor, you know, there could be Mbappe all the way to Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'm looking at Jack thinking, oh my god, look at the aura of this man. I don't care if there's Oscar winners on this dance floor. That guy has captured my attention. Now, that video got over 30 million views across loads of platforms in the space of like 24 hours. Like, this is the definition of an overnight celebrity. This is what Twister was talking about all those years ago. And I think the funniest part is that it's not him who's trying to go viral, it's like other people recorded him, so this has nothing really to do with, you know, like, this wasn't his intention. But obviously he was still on holiday at this point, and he probably didn't know that this video was being recorded. So, like, the next days of his holiday, he can't go anywhere without people recording him. I've never seen someone just embrace it so much. You can see the aura oozing off this bloke. I know I've said aura so many times, but this is the word that describes Jack to his core. The fact he's got a Burberry t-shirt on as well, you know, that's a couple of £100, but just the biggest branding as possible. Again, feeding into the final Ibiza boss energy. Putting his gun fingers in the air. He's not fazed that you're recording him without his permission. He's gonna put his gun fingers in the air anyway. He doesn't give a sh. He runs the gaff. This must be so weird, by the way, because, like, you can see his mates are, like, having a laugh, like, being like, what the hell's happening here? For someone like me, who has done content creation for, like, years, and kind of, you know, you get recognized more and more as you get bigger. It's kind of a gradual process. I can't imagine what it's like for someone like this, where it's literally just overnight. It must be so overwhelming. Later in this video, we are going to get into how he has responded to everything, because I find it really interesting. Oh, people are trying to bait him out on Snapchat as well. Do you know what? If it is a glue-on beard, who cares? It looks mint to him. And that's all that matters. Doesn't matter if he's put a prick stick on here. The only prick stick here is you filming him without his consent. Trying to take the out of him. Normally when I see an Ibiza final boss, they're always like loving themselves, and they always think they're like better than everyone else. With Jack, I kind of feel this like energy to protect him, and I don't know why. You're gonna see later on in this video why I actually think that he's actually a really decent bloke. Now, obviously, people recording you without your consent is pretty wild when you're not used to that. What must be even wilder is like checking your TikTok and seeing that you've been mentioned in edits about you. The weirdest thing about this is like somebody, you know, in their spare time does this, uploads this, and they get 1 million likes within a day. Like, what is this earth that we're living on right now? Like, genuinely, imagine just showing this to someone 20 years ago. They would think you were mental. They'd put you in some sort of asylum. How am I meant to explain to my grandparents that this is based on a real life story? I also love that everybody else is in blue, like everyone else, like, are just fading into the background when Jack's about. When the Ibiza final boss walks in, everyone else is a side character. We don't care if you're the main protagonist in your story at that point. You're a side character in Jack's story.
How big can one night get? This summer, he's having it large. Ibiza, boss level.
Genuinely, like, there's rumors of a new James Bond movie coming out. They should make the Ibiza final boss the baddie in it. Like, James Bond has to go to Ibiza and defeat him. Are you taking the... That's the best James Bond movie ever. Just James Bond trying to run the Ibiza final boss over in an Aston Martin. Sign me up. I will be there at the midnight launch for that shit. Can you imagine just the Ibiza final boss with all these henchmen with like tattoo sleeves and like chains and D-squared caps on, chasing after you with a bottle of Ciroc in hand ready to smash it over your head? That's the best franchise ever. Someone make this into a movie. It's just so weird how it like actually looks like them. Like, I know that's the point, but that's Lego. And that actually, I know straight away who they're talking about here. I didn't even have to know any context. That's the Ibiza final boss. That is Jack. It's so funny because when I first seen the video of him going viral, I didn't know why it went viral. Like, I was just like, oh, that's just a bloke. And I think it's because, like, most people in Newcastle look like him. Maybe it's not to the whole extent of, like, how pristine Jack looks, like everything in place so much. But everyone kind of resembles him in Newcastle. So I was kind of confused as to why this kind of went viral. And then I probably remember not many people down the rest of the UK actually look like this. I think it's just a Newcastle thing mostly. Now, other crazy things that have happened since that one video went viral is he has been mentioned on various news outlets. Genuinely, what is happening? Like, why is he being mentioned on international news? For what reason? Just because of the way he looks? Like, is it really that much of a big deal when you think about it? I don't understand why this has got so big. I genuinely don't. Is it just because of his hair and his beard? I don't know why, but I love it. I'm here for it. If this was a meme review right now, I'm giving it 10 out of 10. I feel like when you go to Ibiza, like, you know, the passport control people should all have to resemble this look. Just to give the place more kind of, you know, just a better vibe. You know where you are as soon as you get off the plane. I guarantee as well people are going to be dressing up as this bloke for Halloween this year. Like, I'm already putting money on it. I'm going to do it. Oh, okay. Yeah. People are already dressing up as... They've even got the same brand and top. How is this possible? Imagine being this bloke. Like, that's just the clothes you wear because you think they're cool. Now everyone's wearing them to take the piss. Again, I can't wait to get into his reaction later on. I'm just so intrigued to see how he's reacted to all of this. Some other mad things that have happened is some people have made, like, cakes based on him. The more I see of this, the more I'm like, wait, is the Ibiza final boss of an industry plan? Like, they all knew they were going to make him famous. I'm questioning everything right now. I'm losing me words. How has this gotten so big so quick? Also, that's definitely going to be my birthday cake this year. I'm going to send Chloe a message. Chloe, can you get me a Ibiza final boss cake with my birthday? Thank you. Right, that's great. Oh my god, birthday is going to go so hard. Can't wait to blow the Ibiza final boss out. You've got to give it to some small businesses. They are like hot on this. I love it. Like generating some money for you from this random bloke. Go for it. The wildest thing about this whole thing is that he became famous while he was on holiday. So like there was various DJ sets going on where they're just putting him on the big screen. Like the video that first went viral. Can you imagine? You went to this set and you're on the big screen. I'd be like, hey, where's all the money? Give us the money. Where's the image rights here? Now, apparently, Jack's had DMs from, like, loads of huge companies and also celebrities. You see here, arguably the biggest DJ in the world, Calvin Harris, DM'd him, saying, if you want to come to the show tonight, let us know, mate. And then I believe that he put that on his story, because why not? The guy's got 11 million followers. Calvin Harris is asking you to come to his show. Like, that's when you know you've made it. That's when you know you're the final boss. If you're gonna come to Ibiza, you better check in with me, okay? You need my permission, Calvin, to perform here now. I'm the big dog round here.
Dentist drilling into teeth, chemist giving out relief, tenants.
Okay, the joke's dead now. The joke's dead now. Millennial radio hosts have found out about it. The joke's dead. It's gone. It's not cool anymore. It's not cool. Now, a lot of people are like me, where they're trying to figure out, like, why this guy has kind of gone viral. People have been trying to break down, like, how attractive this guy is, and if people, like, you know, this is the reason he's got so huge.
How attractive is the IB for Final Boss? The IB for Final Boss has a Minecraft-type square-shaped head, giving him a better face height to width ratio. His facial thirds are also unbalanced, having a wider lower third.
Tough crowd, tough crowd.
His hair is very thin and most likely covering a receding hairline. Also known as Jack, he is lacking facial bone mass, and unfortunately, he has low-set cheekbones.
Why do I feel like this guy's girlfriend fancies Jack? He was just trying to put him down just to make himself feel better.
His eyes look very small. Luckily, he has very good neck width instead. The IB for Final Boss has duck-type lips as he has filler in them. However, they have good width, and his nose is also slim, giving him an ideal lip width to nose ratio.
Come on!
From a profile point of view, his jawline is practically non-existent. However, his amazing beard makes up for it. His roamers could do with more length, and his gonial angle could be more ideal as well. However, his forward growth is great, and he has a straight small...
Again, just put yourself in this guy's shoes. You know, yesterday, a couple of days ago, nobody knew this guy. Now people are, you know, criticizing the way he looks. Very, very specifically. I want to see what the person who owns this account looks like. That's what I want to know. If they don't look like a final Ibiza boss, I don't feel like their opinion really matters. They're gonna do one on me now, aren't they? Nah, I'm not famous enough. Hopefully. Now, a lot of huge news outlets also have been trying to take the piss out of the way that Jack looks. Some media outlets are saying that Jack is hiding secrets underneath his hair. We've now got conspiracy theories about the Ibiza final boss. Like, why would you do this? Everyone's praising this guy. Everyone's having a nice time. And there's always a killjoy. Oh, do I not actually think that he's balding? I think he's hiding a secret there. Who cares? Who cares if he's balding? Couple of months on caffeine shampoo, trip to Turkey, I'll sort him. If anything, that makes my goat better, okay? More relatable. He's not perfect, he knows that. Okay, he's not trying to be perfect, Daily Mail. This is kind of a wild thing to do, though. Like, taking the piss out of his, like, something that he can't change. Like, there's so much else about him if you did want to say that stuff that he has changed, even though that would also be bad also. But just picking the one thing that he's probably insecure about and, like, you know, projecting this to the nation, little bit odd. Now, obviously, like we've just covered there, so many people are talking about this guy. Like, he's literally everywhere. Every single time I open an app, I see his face. It's wild. So I did want to find his actual social media accounts to see if he is posting himself. Like, is he trying to capitalize on this, or is he kind of like shy about it? Is he nervous about it? Is he angry? I was so intrigued to see his response, but he is absolutely loving it. The man is posting every single day, if not twice a day, and also so many Instagram stories at jack.k1. Is that a G-Wagon? The bloke's in a G-Wagon already. Like, the money's hit straight away. There was no delay on that transfer. The bloke's in a...
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices, saving you 20% or more on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
G-Wagon, G63, none of that 400D straight away. See, again, this looks like AI. Like, genuinely, this does look like someone has put this into an AI software and asked them to make something. Just him with just girls, just right beside him. Obviously, all of the fellas at the back. Girls at the front with Jack. We all know the score here. The final boss and all the ladies. And I also saw that he signed to Neon Management. Now, this management, I feel like they're pretty big within the, like, influencer space. Not really with, like, YouTube or content creation. But every single time there's, like, a Love Island series, it always seems like this management get like the most popular people from that show to sign to them. Apparently they've also made people like Joey Essex a millionaire, so it's kind of mad that they straight away have picked up on this guy. Clearly they know that they can make him a lot of money, which we're gonna get into at the end of this video, kind of trying to figure out how much he's really gonna make from this. Like, obviously I've got a bit of knowledge from being within the industry, but also just other people's opinions too. I'm so intrigued. But straight away he's already had brands like Greg's, course, Greg burst in it with that sausage rolls for life. If he gets a Greg's black card before me, I am gonna be fuming. Like, Greg's, if you're watching this, that's the only thing I want in life, okay? Like, give Jack one, but if you do give Jack one, can you at least give me, like, one that lasts for, like, half the year? Or at least has a limit on it. Please, I'm begging. I will do anything. I'll be on my knees for you. Maybe it's not that, but, you know. Also, Currys have reached out to this guy, and Booking.com have actually offered, apparently, for him to have an extended stay in Ibiza. Isn't it hilarious, though, like, how as soon as you get, like, you know, followers, everything then becomes free? Like, no hate to Jack, and obviously, like, he's gonna take all of this, who wouldn't? But just how the world works, where, like, the people who need the free stuff don't get it, but the people who, you know, probably can pay for all this stuff now just don't have to. It's so weird how it works. But since he's signed to this management, and he's had all of these brands kind of contact him, he's very much trying to capitalize on this, as he should. Like, he's posted loads of stuff to his Instagram and his TikTok, and it gives us a little bit more information about what his personality's like as well, to see if, like, there's actually any longevity in this. Okay, so 99 problems, one solution, baby. There's just one solution, baby. Get me to Ibiza Rocks right now. Get me a selfie with Wayne Lineker. Get me a table in Ocean Beach. There's me solution. If this guy doesn't get permanent residency in Ibiza, this was all for nothing. Get this man a throne in San Antonio. I've never been to Ibiza, right? But this is what an influencer is, because it makes me want to go to Ibiza. Because now it just looks really fun. But I don't have a vice break in Ibiza, then I'll get dirty looks from everyone. The comments are hilarious as well. You haven't really been to Ibiza until you faced him. The final boss, Big Jack K. He appears on day 4. You're sunburnt in strange places. You've eaten nothing but crisps and regret for 72 hours. Your soul has left your body and is watching from the pool bar. Then he emerges from the mist, not actual mist, vape cloud. Bro, we've got Wattpad stories about Jack Kane, Big 2025. Muscles like he's training for a fight with the sun. Skin tone, George Hamilton meets gravy granule. White vest clinging to him like it's scared. Turkey teeth so bright you instinctively shield your eyes. Gold chain thicker than a Toro. The bowl cut, immaculate, like it's been lasered into his scalp daily by a retired barber named Gaz, who now lives in San Antonio and only takes payments in protein powder. This is so good. He's on the 3rd chug of sangria. It's 11 a.m. He orders a round of sambuca for the entire bar. No one asked. No one wants it. You take it anyway. It's the law. He calls everyone bruv and princess simultaneously. You feel slightly insulted and slightly flattered. He tells you he's semi-retired and owns a gym in Iron Sanctuary that may or may not exist. By 2 p.m. he's on someone's shoulders chanting for a club that he's never played in La Liga. By 4 p.m. he's doing push-ups in the smoking area to impress a head dude from Basingstoke. By 6 p.m. he's gone. Vanished like a bronzed fever dream. You check your phone. There's a new contact. The Ibiza final boss. Oh, yes, that's it. Oh, I love this meme. This is my favorite meme ever. We need to have like a series on the channel called Meme Review. I feel like PewDiePie used to do it back in the day. We need to bring it back. This is so good.
Boss. Jack here, get to know it.
I love it because he's just like, it just sounds so Geordie. I'm not a Ibiza final boss. I'm Jack K. Get to know us. This is how loads of Geordies talk when they have to talk on camera. It's like the Geordie Shore language. I don't know why everyone talks like this. Right, so I'm in Ibiza, and when I'm in Ibiza, we're gonna go hard. Like, it's the way that they like stop in between sentences. Every Geordie does it. I used to do it when I first started. I don't know why. I need to go to Ibiza this year and just check in with Jack. I'll have to ask for permission first before booking the flight, obviously. He owns them lands. The one thing I love about him as well is like he's taken everything in his stride. Like, a lot of the time when, I don't want to generalize here, but when people who look like Ibiza final bosses get a little bit like the mick taken out of them, they don't often handle it that well, and I think a lot of the time it's because maybe it's an insecurity thing or whatever, but they just don't really handle banter that well, I feel. Whereas he just handles it so well, and he's taken the piss out of himself as well. He posted this. The resemblance is unreal. This is so funny.
With the Ibiza final boss, he's there. Flex of him.
Jack, I'm just saying, right? Like, you're getting a bit red, fella. Turn into a lobster, man. I mean, he's probably ate loads of lobsters, right? With the money he's getting now. Turn a bit red, fella. Make sure you've got the factor 50 on. I know you're the final boss, right? I know you and the sun have probably got like an agreement that it's not going to burn you while you're, you know, having your extended stay. But stay safe, fella. Sunstroke's no joke. That's the boys. That's the boys. Like, I can't believe how he just has everything down. Like, even the mannerisms are down to a T. The angle that he records from and everything. He's uploading compilation edits of himself to his own TikTok. Their self-confidence is just admirable. I feel like that's why he's my goal, because he just has so much self-confidence and has no, like, and he seems to have no anxiety, he seems to have no insecurities. The bloke's just living life to the fullest. You've got to respect it. Now, obviously, whenever someone in the UK becomes huge overnight or, like, within a quick period of time, people always try and drag them down. Like, it's just going to always happen in this country, unfortunately. Now, I did mention that there's been, like, stories about him and his girlfriend apparently having a rift ever since he became famous. Let's talk about this. Now, his girlfriend originally posted a TikTok laughing about how much fame he's recently had. POV, your boyfriend's now known as the Ibiza final boss. Wait, is this, like, Pamela Anderson and Tommy? Is this our Prince Charles and Diana? Like, what's going? Like, is this what's happening now? But he's Diana and she's Prince Charles. Is this the power couple? Because I'm here for it. Is the next generation gonna have posters of them on the wall? I feel like they are. Now, a lot of people in the comments were kind of saying, oh, he's gonna cheat on you. Like, he was trying to get like girls' attention. Like, people, you know, obviously trying to put their 2 pence in to disrupt his life. But again, like, the Daily Mail, like, they need to be called out for how bad they treat people. Whenever, like, people get a little bit of fame, they're straight on their tails, trying to just destroy them instantly. They said Ibiza final boss fights to save relationship with model girlfriend who dumped him when footage of him raving with the lads on Party Isle went viral. Now, I don't know how they initially...
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards, because we've printed them for millions of small businesses over the past 25 years. But we also print signs, stickers, shirts, and more. If you need it, we print it. Print it all with 20% off for new customers at Vistaprint.com.
And Doug.
Okay, here's what you want to do. Save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
Are you a caddy?
But this area is day or night, you know, they're moving. They know where the guys come to drop off the fentanyl at these gas stations or these different places, and they have a whole network. But if you're from Albuquerque, you're from New Mexico, you're a certain way. And we grew up with these realities, you know. Fentanyl is just the new thing. What have we had before it, you know? When I was young, heroin really shaped my life and my family's life in Espanola. I was able to get away from that place and move to Moriarty, and there was meth everywhere, you know, single wide trailers full of meth. And now we've come into the opioid epidemic, and it's turned into this thing called fentanyl that was made in a lab, and it's like sustaining these people like zombies.
We just hoping and praying that the community can get, you know, restored. Go to the sheriffs and the SWAT team. They definitely trying to clean up the community because they're asking for suggestions. My name's Jutho, y'all. Trying to clean up Albuquerque, you know what I'm saying?
2303 Fort West East Side 210 Foothill Bird area. Vehicles 8 dark green Tesla. Vehicle at high rate speed and in and out lanes. Last seen approximately 4 to 5 ago now, nothing further.
The streets of Albuquerque, New Mexico are not to be played with, especially as they face an increased rate of homelessness and a mass surge of fentanyl, driven by the production of small pills called blues, which are pressed and packaged in Mexico by cartels, who receive the raw fentanyl precursor materials from Chinese chemists, who operate with little to no consequences from their government.
The Drug Enforcement Agency estimates 90% of fentanyl comes from Chinese companies that not only operate legally inside of China, but are also subsidized and paid for by the Chinese Communist Party.
There's a new drug of choice in New Mexico that's causing problems like the state's never seen before.
It's in our communities. It's found everywhere we go. Bernalillo County reported nearly 69 deaths per 100,000 people.
That fentanyl's killing a whole lot of people. Back in the days, it used to be Sheba, it used to be heroin, homes, you know?
Overnight, it seemed like the blues came in, and I just started to see everybody that like I knew that was getting high on just the heroin, go to the pills, like their whole lifestyle changed. You know what I mean? Like they started losing everything. You know what I mean? Like people are going out and just stealing shit right and left. You know what I mean? If it ain't bolted down, someone's gonna take it. You know what I mean?
In the years prior, Albuquerque's gritty reputation was something that many well-to-do residents saw as quirky, a small blemish on an otherwise strong city, often ironically celebrated through the veneration of the character Walter White, a fictional meth dealer from the series Breaking Bad, who once called the ABQ home. But the surge in violence and property crime that's accompanied the advent of blues has caused residents to get serious and push for a real solution. Much like in San Francisco, where I visited a nonprofit facility called the Gubbio Project, who distributes safe supplies to drug users in the hopes of curtailing the overdose rate, Albuquerque is home to several nonprofits that work in harm reduction, one of which is called the Endorphin Power Company.
So I'm Jeff Holland. I'm the executive director here at the Endorphin Power Company in Albuquerque's International District. I'm also a clinician at New Mexico Wellness Residential Treatment Center and Detox. Yeah, we're a very unique housing model that helps people coming out of treatment who might be facing homelessness or who might be facing a situation where they think they need more support or they don't want to return to a dangerous situation. We're a non-denominational program. It's not faith-based, it's not this-based, it's whatever works for the individual. So, you know, if going to church works, that's fine. If going to 12-step works, that's fine. If practicing Buddhism, that's fine. We're just going to hold you to something. So we have case managers here. Everybody gets assigned a case manager, so you don't just live here. You actually meet with people to help you set and achieve your goals. And the four non-negotiables of our program are exercise, education, service, and community. So all the residents here have to do something for their physical health on a daily basis for 30 minutes. They have to do something for their brain health for 30 minutes, which is learning something new. It can be school, YouTube video, reading a book, reading the newspaper, whatever. They've got to be a part of the community where they live because the biggest support system you have are the people you surround yourself with on a regular basis. So they got to spend at least 30 minutes a day here with their community. And then you have to give back to the community without expectation of reward for up to 3 hours a month.
Despite these pretty straightforward tenets, Jeff says it's become increasingly difficult to serve the community, based solely on the strength of fentanyl, which has doubled the number of users seeking their services.
So 10 years ago, the flavor of the month was heroin, right? Right now, that's all shifted into fentanyl. You're always going to have meth and alcohol and cocaine and all that. I think now, because fentanyl is so much cheaper and so much stronger, you know, the junkie's dream, give me the strongest stuff possible, take me to the edge of death. We're seeing quite a few more people. So same symptoms, same look, just more of it.
The fentanyl is just really fuck people up, you know what I mean? It's taken a lot of people's lives. I mean, it's almost taken my life a few times, you know what I mean?
And I used to be a heroin addict. I done 10 years in prison, got out in 2017, and that was a pretty big difference to me from what it used to be back in the days, you know what I mean? There's a lot of murders, there's a lot of homeless people. Whatever the fuck they're smoking is bad.
I overdosed probably about 3 months ago. I was lucky enough to have got brought back. Like I said, one minute I'm sitting here having a conversation with you, and then the next minute I'm waking up on the floor and I got paramedics around me and my girl on the side of me crying because I stopped breathing, and you know what I mean, she was trying to do CPR on me to wake me back up.
The overdose rate has increased. Fentanyl's been a little bit harder. It's a little harder to detox from because a lot of the detox meds don't touch it as quick as it would touch heroin. So like where maybe you could go through the worst of heroin in 3 to 5 days, with fentanyl it's probably like that 7 to 10 day range. During overdoses, it's taking a lot more Narcan to bring people out of fentanyl overdoses. Heroin, you might hit someone 2-3 times. Shit, with fentanyl, you could hit them 6-7 times, you know, until they snap out of it.
I had the issue last night. I almost lost my girl, you know what I mean? She got high, and I started looking at her, and she was kind of incoherent. I right away, the first thing that popped in my mind is she's gonna overdose, you know what I mean? So I started running around the streets right here, finding Narcan and running back upstairs and just making sure she was all right, you know what I mean? But it's scary, dude. You know what I mean? It's scary when it's that close to home, you know what I mean?
Like every other public health crisis in America, the fentanyl catastrophe in Albuquerque has created a major blame game as to who's responsible for the situation. In leftist American discourse, especially far away from the epicenter of the problem, it's easy to blame Big Pharma, or perhaps America's broken spiritual core, for causing addiction, which then created the cartel demand. But those in the space feel that what's happening right now simply goes far beyond basic supply and demand tenets, and is somewhat evil.
They have figured out, like, hey, if we can manufacture fentanyl in these little pills and sell it for $2 a hit, what else can we manufacture into a little dose and sell it super cheap? The insidiousness of the nature of the drug is just, it seems a lot dirtier, a lot greasier, a lot grimier. I mean, these are the zombies on the street, right? They're bent over, standing in a median, bent over, like they're not falling down, but they're just bent over, and they seem like they're out of it. They're smoking out in public, and it's just really insidious.
I'm a dialect coach. I'm a dialect coach.
Want a career as a dialect coach? We're not the...
The synthetic market is getting bigger, and it's not going to stop.
All right, what's up, people? Just want to stop you real quick and remind y'all that we actually filmed this documentary about 1.5 years ago. And since then, things have gotten a little bit better from a fentanyl seizure perspective. The DOJ announced last week the largest fentanyl seizure in U.S. history just occurred. And guess where it was? 2 of New Mexico's largest cities, Albuquerque, and somehow the hamlet of Santa Fe, a rich town which apparently also has fentanyl. Let's take a look at how the media covered that. As we know, different outlets push different agendas, shaping the story to fit their own narrative, which is why independent reporting matters, and we here at Channel 5 are 100% committed to bringing y'all raw, unfiltered coverage straight from the streets. But before we hit the streets, we get informed, using what you might ask? Ground news. Ground news is a dope-ass news aggregate that lets you see exactly how different media outlets, left, right, and center, are covering the same story as it unfolds. Here, you can see, using the Ground News Bias Distribution tool, how the left and right are covering U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi's announcement of the country's largest ever fentanyl bust. The left-leaning Source New Mexico headline reads, "Feds announce largest fentanyl bust in U.S. history, partially in New Mexico." Meanwhile, the ultra-right Daily Wire headline is focused on highlighting a villainous foreign threat and the danger of illegal immigration. Feds make largest fentanyl bust in history and arrest illegal alien with ties to a deadly cartel. And while the headline isn't wrong, the language being used is obviously meant to elicit a certain reaction from the reader. The difference in who's emphasizing what part of a story is always something to keep an eye on. Ground news. Another thing I love about ground news is how it helps you figure out what's genuinely newsworthy by showing you how many sources are covering a story. That kind of transparency helps you clock if an article's legit or just nonsense, born inside of an algorithmic echo chamber. Another feature I love to use, their blind spot tool, which shows you the stories that might not be appearing in your typical media bubble. For all those reasons, I trust Ground News to help Channel 5 cut right through the noise. And right now, you can subscribe for 40% off the Unlimited Access Vantage plan, bringing the cost down to less than $5 a month. Just get us, corporate do what doesn't seem to care too much about drug users until they become homeless en masse, which, because of the eyesore and declining property value factor, often leads to renewed calls for city accountability. In Albuquerque, the city responded, as cities often do, with sweeps, closing down major public parks where homeless people live in the hopes that they would either die or recover somewhere else.
More than a year ago, Coronado Park had to close because homeless camping here had gotten so bad. At that time, a little over 1,300 people were experiencing homelessness in Albuquerque, and now that number has risen.
This is what the underpass looked like in early March. We witnessed open drug use and clothing on fire on the sidewalk.
There are now 2,394 people experiencing homelessness in Albuquerque, a nearly 83% increase from last year.
Fuck, I've been homeless before. I've been out on the streets before. Honestly, I didn't like it. I didn't like being fucking out there on them streets with no money, Holmes. Some of these people don't know what to do. And once you go to the streets, these fucking streets will suck you up.
A lot of people don't want to have a drug addict at their house, around their kids, their property. You know what I mean? They think that, okay, well, because this person gets high, they're going to rip me off, or they're going to, you know what I mean, steal my shit.
Some days are miserable. I just got this new tent. I came up on last night, but the mother tent behind it, we're getting hold up that night. It snowed and rained. I woke up, fucking my clothes were wet, soaked, drenched, miserable as fuck. I had to go to court. My birthday, it was my birthday, court. What? Yeah, I'm trying my hardest, Anis. I'm trying my hardest. But yeah.
You don't know who's out there, to be honest with you. You don't know who's out there. There could be a husband out there. There could be somebody's grandma, somebody's kid. You don't know who's out there, bro. But why do people hit the streets? Why are people homeless? They lose jobs. Moms and dads kick them out. They get divorced. Something made them go out there, right? Something in their life went fucked up.
If you don't have anywhere else to go, if you don't have anybody else to talk to, if you don't have any source of support that you feel like you're drowning in a sea of addiction or whatever, if we can't help you, we're never more than one person away to get you help, right? And that's kind of our philosophy. We just want to be that place, that go-to place.
Others, especially in our generation, believe the true solution to the problem is within reach, especially by way of funding organizations like Jeff's, but that politicians like to keep these problems going to keep their pockets full.
We have this wonderful concept called reversibility. A problem might spontaneously appear like fentanyl or homelessness, and all of a sudden everyone is surprised. But the same people that created the policies, that created the displacement, are also the same cronies and friends that get paid to fix it much later. And we call this reversibility.
Sometimes you have liberal politicians that'll say, oh, we're creating affordable housing. What they don't tell you is that they're giving away millions of dollars to already wealthy developers to create this affordable housing But the affordable housing is only affordable for so many years. Then it gets popped up to market rate and gentrification.
We're continually assured the best and brightest are going to fix our community and these complex problems, but it's all just stayed the same the majority of my life or gotten incredibly worse.
What are our tax dollars going to? It should be going to housing our people, for health care. And yeah, definitely we have a big substance abuse issue in Albuquerque, and you know, we need to be thinking about ways to solve that from like a non-judgmental health perspective.
There's probably places internationally that have tackled a lot of these problems that are ahead of us, you know, whether it's heroin, whether it's meth, whether it's opioids, whether it's fentanyl, whether it's, to me, even alcohol, you know. It decimates our communities, and we have to start asking why.
For many, myself included, there seems to be a big connection between real estate developers and the proliferation of the open-air drug zones that seem to be confined to a small radius in American cities. One place you may have seen this is in our coverage of Kensington, the open-air drug market in Philadelphia. In every direction south and west of the area where police turn a strange and mysterious blind eye to the hellish street scenes unfolding every day, entire blocks are being torn down to make way for massive apartment complexes owned by mega developers like Templetown Realty, who have contracts with either universities or the cities themselves. The business model of many of these city-connected real estate companies, many in the neighborhood speculated, is to use the dejected homeless population to lower property values so the companies can tear shit down and make new stuff to make more money.
So many of these politicians are invested in the real estate industry. They really don't represent the people. They represent those interests that, you know, often fund their campaigns. We see it from the city to state level. You know, we've got one brave ally, Senator Linda Lopez. She's reintroducing this bill right now, actually, to make rent control legal. Because actually it's illegal for us to put a limit on how much landlords squeeze money out of us, right? Last session we tried to do the same thing, and the committee that we were in, a lot of those guys are landlords themselves. So it's a complete uphill battle. The system's completely built to benefit, you know, the very, very small percentage of landlords and developers, and it's to the disadvantage of the majority of us in New Mexico who rent.
A few years ago, we bought a triplex across the street because we realized some of the people that were leaving our program, they were being discriminated against in terms of getting a nice place. Like, they would have good jobs, making good money, and they would go to these places and they would just look at their background or lack of background and be like, no, you can't live here.
You know, this is the type of stuff, it's like, you know, housing is a huge barrier to people in Albuquerque and people in New Mexico, like just being able to survive, you know, and like, how can you grow as a person? How can you like be a healthy person mentally and physically if like you can't even have housing accessible?
But we know that in many situations, full drug legalization can lead to a complete nightmare, especially in municipalities like Portland, Oregon, where the same drugs that are made legal are also deeply criminalized in other states and counties that are just a few hours away by car. What happens is that because of the disparity in law, many of the drug users, to avoid jail time and citations, decide to all head to the city so they can not go to jail, and the harm reduction nonprofit resources are stretched thin to the point of capacity.
My city, my state is getting diced up.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices, saving you 20%.
And it goes to the highest bidder, and you end up displacing a lot of people. It's kind of a mess. I don't know, other than money coming in and completely changing these neighborhoods, and then they go somewhere else. I don't know where they go. I don't know where this problem goes.
Some people are like, arrest everybody and put them in jail and make everything illegal. Like, well, maybe for some people that's gonna work, you know, and other people are like, legalize everything and decriminalize everything and just let everybody do what they want. And for some people that's gonna work.
But despite the scene on the ground, Albuquerque from a legal perspective is not like Portland, SF, or Seattle. It's more like Vegas or Phoenix. You can't just technically do drugs on the streets there. And many people on the Albuquerque streets began their career in jail and prison with petty drug possession charges.
I used to be a heroin addict, and my first bid was in 2001. That's when I got sentenced. I got locked up in 2000. I didn't learn for a long time, man. You know, I took that little trip down that road to the Pinta, where most of us, I could say most of my homies anyways, ended up. And I done about 15 years. I've done 15 years, and yeah. And I did everything that I said I was gonna do. once I put my mind to it in the joint. This is what I tell my homeboys when they get out. If they call me, they tell me, and like I tell them, if you guys love your freedom and you enjoy your freedom, you're gonna stay clean, Holmes, because if you don't stay clean, eventually you're gonna get caught and you're gonna go back.
Whatever reason you have, at what point do we say, look, we've got to find something better? I'm saying maybe we need to make the jails more therapeutic. Maybe we need to put appropriate clinical services in the jail so we can say, Joe, you're really struggling, man, and we're really worried about you as a person in our society that you're gonna die. We have a program in our jail, so you're not getting out of jail like 3 days off of fentanyl or 5 days with no home, no services, no support. We want you to just stay here. Let's do a 45-day, 90-day, whatever treatment, and let's just try and get him some social support. So when you leave here, you're not leaving here, you're actually walking into something. You're gonna leave here and go immediately into housing. A lot of people wanna say that I'm saying incarcerate addiction, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the entire system has to think differently. But this whole thing where it's just about wins and losses on the attorney side, that's some bullshit. So how can we think about it from top to bottom to be better, right?
There's really not an answer to how you're gonna fix that in New Mexico, that's for sure.
At some point, when is it incumbent upon us as a society to help people who can't help themselves? We gotta think of it in those terms. Otherwise, we're just stepping on our own dick all the time.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55, we don't fuck with custers. And 5 is the best number.
My name's Bel Cisneros. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And right now we're here at downtown Albuquerque at Por Vida Tattoo. I was born and raised here in Albuquerque, the South Valley, and right here in this neighborhood, Barelas. When my parents got divorced when I was 12 years old, I moved down here with my grandfather. So I grew up not far from here, about 1 minute walk. With the growing in population and, you know, comes along all the other stuff. I've seen a lot of buildings be built, a lot of the land get developed. I guess it depends what part of Albuquerque you're at, you know, but to me, it's like a very clean city, you know, our air is real clean and stuff like that. As far as like the inner city, you know, we have a lot of course, fentanyl. That's the main thing that I would see, and it's all caused by that. Probably all around America the same. Like inner city shit, you know, the homeless and stuff like that. They're real harmless, you know. We have a lot of petty crime and stuff like that, but that's pretty much it, you know. It's affected me in a positive and a negative way, just as it does with everyone in every city, you know. You don't want your customers' cars getting broken into and stuff like that, and that happens. But at the same time, they're out there doing jobs too, you know, that other people don't want to do. You know, you have them picking up trash in the parking lot and shit like that. So as far as change in culture, it's been interesting too, because, you know, my era was like the Cholo era, you know? Everyone was into the Cholo stuff and gangs and stuff, and it's a lot different now. You don't see so much of it, which is kind of nice. I don't know about the Cholo stuff, I like that stuff, you know, but the gangs and shit, you don't see a whole lot of it. I know they're out there, but it's not like it used to be. In my eyes, it's gotten better. I understand, like, if you were to go off of statistics, like crime or whatever is up, but I mean, so is the population. So there would be more crime, obviously. It's beautiful. It's the land of opportunity, I feel like, you know. You hear that a lot from people from Albuquerque, that they move out of Albuquerque and search for opportunity. But for me, it's the opposite. You know, Albuquerque's so nice for that, for opportunity. For one, because startups on businesses and stuff, your cost is real low. On top of, everyone knows each other. So if you need to get shit done, it's real easy to get shit done. There's always somebody that knows somebody. It's big enough to start a business, but it's not too big to where you're just working all alone, you know? You got a lot of people that'll back you on whatever you do, in my experience. I guess this is how you look at it, you know? Because for myself, it's been the best city to grow up in for all those reasons, you know? I've had the support of a lot of people, but no, it's been good. The city's nice, it's beautiful. It's hard for me to say about any negativity on it because I've never experienced it in my life, you know?
Cool. Do you want to tell them where they can find you? Maybe your shop Instagram shout out or anything like that?
Yeah, you can check us up on Instagram. It's Por Vida 505. The shop is right here downtown on 504th Street Southwest. Yeah, that's it. Our website's Por Vida, New Mexico, porvidaabq.com. Sorry. Yeah, porvidaabq.com, and from our website you could find everything.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
That's it.
Sorry, dog, I don't have so much to say.
No, that's perfect. No, that's really good.
More boxes, more options. Grainger has over 1,700 box types in stock and ready to help you pack, store, and ship everything.
I will drop you on the ground and tase you if you do not quit resisting me.
Once they indicate to me that the survivors want to talk to law enforcement.
Now, unfortunately, we're past that point now. I have personal experience with the CIT team. They usually try and convince the victims not to talk to us.
Huh.
And we're not going to play that game today.
You know we don't do that, right? Like, ever.
No, I do know you do. Some of your people do that.
We are the legal authority, no matter what Burning Man thinks.
Deputies are dispatched when 2 women report that they've been violated in non-consensual encounters at Burning Man. But what begins as a straightforward attempt to talk to them escalates into a tense power struggle when police run up against significant pushback from festival volunteers.
I understood that I was detained, not arrested.
We'll see.
The following report is based on official police records, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On August 31st, 2022, Pershing County Sheriff's deputies at the annual Burning Man Festival in Nevada receive word about 2 disturbing reports that require immediate investigation. But they quickly run into resistance from the yellow-clad volunteers of the Emergency Services Department, an official agency of Burning Man that responds when there are reports of trouble.
Hi, I'm the ESD duty chief. How you doing?
Hey, I'm Donna Robinson. I'm the investigator.
So, there's a little confusion with dispatch. So I have 2 SAT teams on scene, the sexual assault teams, that are now talking to both the victims, the survivors.
Yeah.
And once they indicate to me that the survivors want to talk to law enforcement.
Now, unfortunately, we're past that point now. Okay, look, I will go in alone. That's why I'm dressed down. Okay. And if they want to tell me they don't want to talk to me, I need that on my camera, and then we're done. But I can't have anybody interfering. Once we're advised of it, we are obligated to at least talk to the victims.
Okay.
And I'll tell you from my standpoint, it didn't come from Rangers.
Though sometimes mistaken for police, the Black Rock Rangers are volunteers who, according to Burning Man's website, help participants and staff work through problems.
Yeah.
I don't know where
No, it came over the wall. I'll tell you exactly where it came from. Your dispatchers leaned over the wall and said there were 2 sex assault victims here and dispatched law enforcement. That's exactly where it came from. Yep.
So it doesn't matter. I mean, Reno, you know I'm fair, and I have a good reputation with the Rangers as being an investigator. So, if I'm okay with going in alone, so I can talk to him.
So I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll just, we'll play this. We'll play this nice and easy, and we'll see. I don't want to traumatize them any more than they have been.
Each year, Burning Man organizers transform the playa into a temporary city with quasi-official departments like the ESD and Black Rock Rangers. Also on scene are volunteers from a counterculture group known as Zendo, who were similarly hesitant to allow law enforcement free access to the 2 women.
I'm wondering what's going on.
Hi, I'm here to talk to the survivors.
Okay.
I'm an investigator.
Okay.
Okay, and I've been told that they were survivors of sexual assaults. I need to speak with them. I'm obligated by law to speak with them. If they don't want to talk to me without any coaching from you guys, then that's fine. But I have to get it and cover my butt.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand. So it sounds like this is a legal obligation of yours because we called it a domestic.
Well, and is it domestic violence or is it sexual assault?
Or I'm sorry, a sexual violence.
Okay. Is the perpetrator a husband, boyfriend, domestic partner, or something like that?
No.
Okay. Is this a stranger thing or is this somebody she met? Is it a she and a he? I don't know, and I don't know yet.
Okay. We can get more information for you. What type of information?
Okay, I need to talk to them.
Okay. I'm gonna go chat with her real quick and see if.
Yeah,
I'm
just
gonna
let
her know that.
and just say, hey, there's somebody here to talk to you. You know, I'll talk to her, and then as we go on from there, then we'll take it from there. But I'm going to tell you, if you interfere in my investigation,
Then I'm interfering in your investigation.
and then there you could possibly be arrested.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that.
Because I don't think you want to ruin your burn by getting arrested.
I don't want to ruin my burn.
Because this is really serious.
As Investigator Robinson deals with representatives of Zendo, a group that provides support for people experiencing non-ordinary states of consciousness, Deputy Boyer lays out some facts for the ESD duty chief.
Now dispatch is saying they never called you guys at all.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, it's...
Fresh air. That's my MO.
Just so you and I are clear, I'm cool with whatever you guys do, you know, but I'm sorry it's such a cluster. It's frustrating for everybody.
You know, it is, right? Because we're no matter what Burning Man thinks, a lot of these rules are Burning Man's rules. People don't understand that, right? And so we are the law enforcement authority here. Yeah. And unfortunately, like, no disrespect to the Rangers or anything like that, but we do this every day. This isn't 1 week in the dirt for us, right? And so we are legally obligated to investigate complaint or reports of sexual assault, whether it's first party or third party. Yeah. And Zendo is not a legal authority to prevent us from doing that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's not going to bode well for anybody if someone has to go to jail for obstruction, but it's just one of those things that, you know.
Inside the Zendo site, Investigator Robinson's
they
efforts are
actually keeping
delayed
them
as
from
crisis
anything in any way?
intervention
They're just,
team
like,
members,
standing
part
there
of
asking
Burning Man's
questions.
emergency services, speak with one of the women.
So the crisis intervention team.
No, I know.
To finish their interview.
I understand that, but
What are your thoughts?
I have personal experience with the CIT team. They usually try and convince the victims not to talk to us.
Huh.
And we're not going to play that game today.
Okay.
Are both of them in here, or where's the other one?
Both of this.
No, not CIT. We were told 2 survivors.
Just this. Okay. Yeah, there's another one here.
Where's she at? Is it she? Is she in there? Well, why don't we go talk to them and they can finish up their thing? How's that sound?
There's a team in there as well.
Okay, well, let's go over here.
Hold on one second. What do you recommend?
Well, I mean, I'm just.
And my name's Alley Cat, by the way.
Do you want to go see if they're ready for her to come in? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh, what a day.
You don't need to make this.
I think they just want to let her know you're coming in. So
And I'm okay. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. But I also have experience with the CIT team.
Yeah.
Blocking our investigations.
Yeah.
So.
That doesn't feel good. I know you're all out there taking care of people.
Well, and the big thing is, why would we want the perpetrator to continue to do this when we could possibly stop him?
Yeah.
With the investigation stalling, the 2 deputies meet at the fence to discuss their next steps.
Either let Wagner or Carmichael know what's going on.
Okay. Are they preventing you from having access?
We want to finish our interview first.
Which one needs to go to jail? I'll put one of them in cuffs. I don't care.
Right now, it's the yellow shirts that are in there with her. I don't want to traumatize the victim by making a big scene right now.
Yeah, it's a simple question, right?
No, that's what I told.
Like, hey guys, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I just want to double check, make sure you don't have a use for law enforcement, right?
No.
I mean,
but the girl in the black shirt, the Zendo person,
she was the one that obstructed me to begin with. She's going to go to jail.
Confirming that the vehicle's no
longer
on the
track. No matter what Burning Man thinks or anything like that, we are the legal authority in this county, not Zendo, not Burning Man.
Yeah.
Despite that declaration, however, Robinson continues to encounter setbacks inside the camp.
Go see what's happening.
Yeah, because I'm about ready to stick my head in there whether they want it or not.
They're just trying to wake her.
They're trying to what?
Wake her up. She's sleeping. So.
It's an awful long time to be waking somebody up. No, they're not. They're letting her sleep and they're on the bed talking to each other.
Let me. Her friend is lying next to her trying to pick her up. I think you can't see because they're.
Oh no, I
people are
saw
sitting
somebody caressing her arm, but that's not trying to wake somebody up.
Zendo and ESD are, again, they've let her to the tent, but they are denying and refusing access to either victim.
Why don't they just walk in? She's waited long enough, leading to a confrontation that will dramatically change the course of the evening.
Hi guys, I'm Donna. Hi. Can I come in and talk to you for a second, ma'am?
Identify yourself.
I'm with Persian County Sheriff's Office. I'm an investigator.
No, we're gonna pass on that.
I can't take that from you. I need to talk to her.
Well, she's asked me to talk on her behalf.
Well, I'm sorry, that's not legally
You'll need to get
acceptable.
my supervisor. This, I'm not going to have a power struggle with you. My
Yeah,
supervisor is
and let
Renee.
me explain to you. You can come on out here.
I will.
Come on out.
I'm going to get my supervisor, Rob.
That's fine. Get your supervisor.
Away from.
But I will tell you, if you continue to invade my investigation, you will be arrested.
Oh, good. Let's get my supervisor and talk about that. So I've been out here for years.
Listen, I've been out
Let's
here.
get away from this person.
No,
You don't
I'm not leaving.
traumatize her.
I'm not going to traumatize her.
Supervisor, please. Her name is Renee. Yeah. If you'd like
Nope.
to step away.
I'm not.
She's not going to talk to you.
Well, I can hear that from her,
That's fine.
not you.
Step up.
No,
Victim.
no.
I've been here 5 years.
I've been here
Never
longer.
had an interaction like this.
Well,
Ever.
I'm an investigator for this very purpose.
We can tell.
I'm dressed down for this. I am very well liked by Burning Man.
I need your help.
But as the woman calls for her supervisor, Robinson signals her partner to come put her in handcuffs.
Well, that ended that, excuse me. It's now a law enforcement matter, ma'am. Yep.
All I'm asking you to do is step out of earshot of the person that's traumatized.
I don't have
and
to
be
talk
centered.
loud, but I'm not stepping. No, no, I'm not.
Darling.
Ma'am. Nope.
Oh boy.
Turn around. Place your hands behind your back. Place your hands behind your back.
Wait.
Nope.
Hold on.
I will drop you on the ground and tase you if you do not quit resisting me.
Stop. Just detain her for right now.
Tell me why.
Yep. Because she's delaying and obstructing my investigator and trying to get her to leave.
Okay, what's the investigation?
Detain her over
Yep. We're investigating 2 sex assaults that were reported to us.
Renee, I'll need you near.
Yep.
Or to us?
Nope, to us.
Okay.
I need you near me. Sir, you're hurting my arm. I
Ma'am.
will gladly walk in
Okay,
your direction.
ma'am, you're being detained. So we're going this
I
way.
will gladly walk
We're
and
going to go to the playa. We're going to
Sir.
make a.
Sir, I will gladly walk in your direction.
Perfect.
Let's
We're
be
gonna-
two human beings being kind
And I'm
to
telling
each other.
you where we're
Let's
going.
be two human beings being kind to each
Come on.
other. You're hurting my arm. Sir, if you could not pull my arm so hard, please.
Ma'am, you need to comply with me. You're being
I
detained at this point.
Complying with you. Do you
Yes, we're walking this
Everyone
direction.
can see I'm complying.
Yep, we're being recorded, so it's okay.
Everyone can see I'm complying. If you could let go of my arm, please.
Nope. You are under my care and control at this point in time.
Can everyone see I'm complying, please? Everyone see I'm complying?
Ma'am, you need to keep walking.
Can you tell me where we're going?
We're going to that patrol vehicle, ma'am. You are no longer complying with my orders.
I am complying. Can
We're-
everyone see I'm
Ma'am,
complying?
keep walking.
Okay.
And don't get drugged. Don't get
Ma'am.
drugged. Don't get drugged. Keep up with him.
An officer with the Bureau of Land Management steps in to assist, but the woman, a registered nurse named Hannah Hoekstra, remains unhappy about her treatment.
What is your name, officer?
Deputy Boyer, it's all being recorded and it'll be in your arrest report.
I understood that I was detained, not arrested.
We'll see.
Can you be a little kinder to me? I'm very
Ma'am, I am giving you direct orders.
You're hurting my shoulder.
They're lawful orders.
Sir,
You are
my
pulling
shoulder.
against me.
I'm against the car.
You are pulling back
I've
from me.
never had handcuffs on me in my life.
Okay.
Can I interject something?
Nope.
I can't believe that far at all.
Renee, all I asked was that they step away from the tent so that the victim couldn't hear. And I said that, she said she'll need to tell me, and I said that's fine.
I have anti-interrupt.
But understand this. It's a detention, right?
Well, he
But-
just said I was arrested. So.
Okay, well, then there you are. But when you're in handcuffs, at that point, and you say you're complying, okay. But when you say you're complying and you're putting your whole body weight away from what you're not walking with,
Oh,
you're
I
not
walked with him,
complying.
and it's on record that I'm walking with him. But thank you for educating me.
Inside Zendo's camp, one of the women Robinson was trying to reach emerges from the tent.
My name's Donna.
This is
Okay.
making me really.
Oh, I am so sorry.
She's had a really hard day.
Okay, let me step in so we can do this privately.
I really don't want her.
It's so much later.
I'm
Do you
here
see
to
how much
help you,
the
sweetheart.
sun's gone down?
This person doesn't do this anymore to you. Okay?
It really is not that bad of a situation. I really just want to go back to my camp.
Okay,
Really,
Angela,
you know
it'll
what
be
this
deleted.
makes me want to do is never ever tell anyone ever again when this stuff happens, because they have effective support services here. And I felt better 1 minute ago. I was
just
about
give
to
me
go
your
home.
name, and if you don't want to make a report, just
And
tell
then
me you
then-
don't want to make a
then
report, and I will
will she
leave.
be able to go back to her camp?
Absolutely.
The woman gives her name to Investigator Robinson and declines to file a report at this time.
Are you feeling a little better now?
Yeah,
Did
I just didn't like seeing that because
Well,
they just helped me out.
Unfortunately, when somebody impedes our investigation, they can be arrested.
Meanwhile, Hannah notices a camera and uses the opportunity to make a public statement.
I was police the whole time. Said she wanted to come in.
Millions search with AI. See what it says about your brand and why. With AI optimization by SEMrush Enterprise. Track AI visibility in depth and find ways to
What
improve.
happened?
Be the brand AI search recommends.
Style and substance. In the GMC Sierra, or current eligible GMC owners get 20% below MSRP on this Sierra 1500 model.
Can I give you my email so you can send that to me, please? I'll need that for you.
I'll need it as well for the prosecution.
At Hannah's request, Deputy Boyer loosens her cuffs before ultimately moving them to the front.
What is your first name?
My name is Hannah.
Hannah? Hannah, what's your last name?
I'd rather not say it right now, but I'll give you my last name.
Ma'am, in the state of Nevada, you are required to provide identification to me. That in itself is another crime. You are required by the state of Nevada.
Have the ID.
No. You can verbally provide it to me, but you are required to provide it to me.
In what instance?
If you don't identify yourself, you can be transported to Person County. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't
Listen,
know the
listen.
bad things.
No, it's not bad. I'm saying
So
here you'll be
Though reluctant to give her name, Hannah is willing to share some background information she deems relevant.
I've been to Person County. I've been subpoenaed to testify there twice for attempted murder trial.
So
I know the DA well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's great. So what I can do is get all your info as my partner's requested, and then take you back to her and uncuff you because she would like to talk it out with you, and I'm going to release you back to ESD.
Okay, so let's go.
As Hannah gives the deputy her details, Robinson tries to find common ground with the head of emergency services, who isn't pleased with how this went down.
This person want to talk to you? Once I talked to her, she said, I may want to talk to you later. I gave her my information, but I need to hear her. I need to get her name, and I need to hear her say, I don't want to talk right now. And if they say that to us personally, then we're done.
I hear that.
Okay.
But that's not the law. The NRS does not say that. NRS 629 does not say that.
There
and
is
VAWA
case
doesn't
law.
say that either.
There is case law out of Sparks, Nevada, where officers didn't take a report and said they were told, and I don't know all the details because I can't remember it per se, but there's bad case law against law enforcement for not doing a proper investigation on a sexual assault. If we can come out and at least talk face to face with the victim, or survivor, I should say, then, and they say we don't want to talk to you as long as they haven't been, I don't want to say coerced, but convinced not to talk to us.
You know we don't do that, right? Like, ever.
No, I do know you do. Some of your people do that.
They, you know what?
In the past.
I mean, this hurts my soul. Because our team, we spend so much time trying to talk to
I will just tell you, I had a friend years ago that was a CIT person for you guys, and she came out and told me, she goes, they tell us in our briefing, convince them not to talk to law enforcement.
Hannah is released after spending 14 minutes in handcuffs, an ordeal that she has consistently used one word to describe.
Not cooperating. This is quite uncomfortable and traumatizing. It's a traumatizing situation. I don't know how we got it. So I mean, my body's
I can only
freaked
understand.
out. This is a traumatic experience. My recall may not be great. Where are we going?
We're going to go to those two deputies right over there, so I'll follow you.
If it's the lady that had me put in handcuffs, I'm in a traumatic state. I'm not going to be able to talk to her.
The sergeant's right there. He has nothing to do with this, so.
So the lady that was verbally challenging me when I asked her to step away from the tent, I don't want to be around her.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take you over to the other side, and then I'll let the sergeant know.
With this territorial dispute winding down, Investigator Robinson provides support to the second woman, who also decides against filing a complaint.
Let me tell you this right now. Give me your hands. This is not your fault. Okay? It is not your fault at all. You did nothing wrong, okay? And I've gotten some pretty good. Oh, don't cry, sweetheart. Okay? I've gotten some really good convictions on to do this to me. Okay?
As the sun sets over Burning Man, Robinson tries to end things on a positive note with the ESD chief.
See, if I could have handled the first one like that one, we would have been gone like an hour ago.
Totally.
So, are we good?
Yeah.
Are you and I good?
You and I are great.
Okay.
The men in the situation, they're like, they're out and pissed on the tree. I don't like it. It's none of their business. We need to take care of this person. The person who is.
And that's why I'm an investigator for this purpose.
But that kind of aggression just makes things worse.
At least one ESD volunteer appears to agree.
By the way, I am a retired.
I heard that.
Detective of sexual assault. And I have a quick question.
Sure.
Is it your policy to threaten to tase somebody that's already handcuffed?
I will talk to him about it, and I will have a sergeant.
I will write that in a report.
So,
you can talk to me all you want.
No.
I'll be putting that in a report.
That's fine. You have that right.
Thank you for being positive and cool.
And we're all here for the victim or survivor. I have to get used to saying it that way.
I get that.
But I think this was escalated to a point it didn't need to escalate to.
Yeah, true story.
In August 2024, 2 years later, Hannah Hoekstra sued the Pershing County Sheriff's Office for false imprisonment, alleging that the bodily injuries, public humiliation, and emotional distress she suffered that day led to PTSD and forced her to stop working as a forensic nurse. The case is still ongoing. Her lawsuit describes the work Hannah was engaged in when she was detained. Upon initial interaction with Ms. Hoekstra, the female patient informed Ms. Hoekstra that she had discussed and consented to snuggle with the male acquaintance in his air-conditioned tent, but objected to and was emotionally distraught by his intentional contact with her thigh. The female patient did not at any time allege that she was sexually assaulted.
What if you could taste the movies?
We turned that idea into an $11.3 million business with Wix. One movie night, we were craving this chocolate cake that we saw on screen.
A bad thing and every single thing happening after that just made it worse. Best wishes to the victims.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. When did Charles learn how to smolder like this? My God, 31-year-old man still stuns the old-fashioned way. Well, it's because today, for some reason, the internet has decided to feed me beauty-related news. Don't know why. Haven't searched up anything. Like, the closest thing I looked up to anything even remotely associated with that topic was, like, melatonin supplements, I guess. But I don't know if melatonin helps you glow or whatever. I don't know how that would build a bridge to beauty-related articles and everything, but whatever. One of them that got served to me I found to be so fascinating that I just have to talk about. Influencer suffers from severe chemical burns after attempting to remove facial parasite. So you can see on the right there, it's still in the process of healing, but it looks as though she had briefly peeked into the Ark of the Covenant and singed the lower half of her face off. And
Jesus
it's because
Christ.
she put
She's
Nair
Two-Faced, but it's top and
directly
bottom.
on her face to combat this supposed parasite that she is now named Caroline. It's a really interesting adventure here that I stumbled upon. So this is Brandi Glanville. She was a star in a show called Real Housewives, as well as a couple of other productions, and she has since become an online influencer. And apparently in 2023, she started experiencing symptoms that resulted in facial disfigurement and was later diagnosed with stress-induced angioedema, which causes facial swelling. And according to an Instagram post, it presented itself after a trip with her friends. And since then, she has now claimed that it is actually a facial parasite that is causing the facial disfigurement. So now she has waged war against it and has given the enemy a name, Caroline. That is the Voldemort for which she has sworn revenge. and recently used biological warfare against it with Nair cream on her face.
Okay, guys, I'm getting back to you because I don't know how to do TikTok, and I know I look attractive. So, good news, you guys don't have to spend a lot of money on pills and lasers anymore, because I decided to put Nair on my face, because when I have an exfoliated face, it pisses Caroline off, whoever's living in my face. She's right here right now and right here. And then she moved up here when I did the Nair. And yeah, but you know what I mean. So, Nair is the fountain of youth. I figured it out, but I overdid it. 7 minutes, don't
She's
do it.
still
But
vouching
right now,
for
my
it.
mom, because she trusts me.
She then proceeds to talk about her mom being there.
You know who sells more euros than anyone else in America? Hint, they have a $7 euro meal right now. Answer in 5, 4, 3. It's our Arby's. We have the meats.
As an introverted dog mom, my two favorite places are at home or at a quiet park with my dog. The weather has been perfect lately, so we've been spending every second we can under the trees and in the grass. And now it's more important than ever that Willow's protected from fleas and ticks. Those things are nasty, and I don't want them anywhere near Willow or my house. I get Willow's medications from Chewy Pharmacy. It's literally an introvert's best friend. I can order flea and tick meds right from the app, and licensed pharmacists contact our vet for approval. And then it's delivered right to my door, and with auto ship we never run out, so we can spend more time doing our favorite things and staying protected.
But anyway, she thinks there's a parasite living in her face, which is why she's taken such drastic action against it. Though there is no evidence to support that claim, there is nothing to suggest she has a facial
doctor's note for that
parasite.
one. Just
now, of course, I'm not her
hunch.
doctor and haven't conducted an exam
damn.
myself here. Maybe it is entirely possible she got bitten by the radioactive spider that gave Spider-Man his powers. I have no way of knowing, but from an uneducated Neanderthal's perspective, sitting in his swamp-ass chair, I decided to look into it myself a little bit. And to me, this sounds like delusional parasitosis. Again, this comes from a Cro-Magnon man, but it does sound like a textbook example of this, a condition in which a person has a fixed false belief that they are infected by an organism despite evaluation not showing an infection to be present. This refers to things like bugs living under their skin, parasites, worms, mites, that kind of thing, even though there is no doctor-supported evidence of it. So now with this belief in her head, she's going scorched earth on her own face. So she's carpet bombed it with Nair, which has clearly done a lot of damage to it. I don't think it'll be permanent. I imagine it'll probably heal fine. But again, I'm no expert on chemical burns, Nair, or pretty much anything, to be honest. Though I just have to imagine with that whole, like, Nairing your butthole thing, I think the body's pretty resilient when it comes to it. It's just not good to use it on your face and other areas that it's not intended to be used on. I did also see people speculating that this could be Brandy covering up a laser job or an injection gone wrong or something like that. This could all be a false flag operation, and using Nair as the scapegoat here, like, oh, I tried to attack Caroline with Nair and look what happened. I don't know if I necessarily buy into that conspiracy theory, just judging by the way she talks about it. She is named the parasite, which, yeah, on the surface is kind of quirky, but it also, to me, kind of represents something a little more unhealthy beneath the surface here. She's already, like, from the sound of things, disregarding the medical diagnoses and instead has self-diagnosed as having a facial parasite. And now, even after the whole Nair debacle here, is claiming that Caroline dodged it and went up to her forehead now, but it made her angry. Like, she's talking about this fucking thing like it's the Demogorgon here. Like, again, something that there is no evidence to support its existence. I don't think this is her, like, making a cover story or anything like that. I don't think it's her trolling, especially judging by the description here. Beauty hacks. This is a good one, but do a test patch. I did 7 minutes and I'm on fire. So... Joko. What? So... Oh, that's not a J. So... Ioko. Don't to 7 minutes. It also burned the loose skin off my arms and it's $7. Mix up some aloe vera, cucumber, and black tea, put it in the freezer, put it in the spray bottle, and once it's cold enough, spray all day, because I'm in some pain. Reading it in my head, it didn't clock with me just how messy that description was. Reading it out loud was painful. I was like fucking reading Haunting Adeline out loud. I had a hard time getting through that. It was all over the place. That actually read like unhinged scribblings. But what she is saying here is that she has found Nair, used it, but was too aggressive with it, but still is preaching about Nair as like a good thing to try for like exfoliants in like chemical peels, when it's not a good thing for that at all. But she's even giving a tutorial like, I did 7 minutes, but don't do that. Instead, use aloe, cucumber, black tea, freeze it, and then spray it, and you're good to go. Do not follow that advice. I urge you not to make the same mistake she did of like narrowing all of your sensitive spots. You're gonna not have a good time. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're gonna be singing the blues on it, I bet. But the reason I'm even mentioning the description here is none of this leads me to believe that she's taking the piss. None of this seems like it's her making a joke or something. She is like actively trying to give advice on like using Nair on your face, which is a bad thing to do. I do think this is a case of delusional parasitosis, and when I looked up Brandy Glanville plus Caroline to see like if the name had any meaning, turns out it does. It seems like she named this facial parasite she believes she has after a real person, Caroline Manzo, who filed a lawsuit against Bravo, which was a station where this show was airing, Real Housewives. Caroline filed a lawsuit against Bravo for sexual harassment and assault that she allegedly experienced from her co-star Brandy Glanville. I couldn't believe the depth of the lore here, so I went even deeper into the rabbit hole. I then even checked out bits and pieces of the podcast, and then I also read this article which covered more of the podcast, where Brandy was talking more in depth about it all. She was opening up about how hard her life has been since the allegations from Caroline Manzo were made public. She revealed that she had contemplated suicide during it, also opened up about her facial disfigurement. She maintains her innocence, that she didn't do any of the things that Caroline is claiming, but she apparently lost several jobs, including one lined up in Australia. And she said, and then I lost my looks at the same time. I literally at 51 started OnlyFans because I didn't have income for 6 months and I was like going through my savings. I was making good money and then my face started being crazy. She was apparently using a mask to hide her face, but then the fans over there were asking that she not use the mask. At the time she didn't have a diagnosis. Eventually she did get the diagnosis, but now, fast forward to today, she now believes it's actually all caused by a facial parasite, which she is battling with Nair, giving herself severe chemical burns on her face now to try and fight against the supposed parasite. This was a wild ride. Again, I don't know what I did to make the internet algorithm think that I wanted to be fed beauty influencer related news and articles. Maybe it knows I hit 31 and it thinks that I need to start doing things to take better care of my looks. I have no clue what it's trying to suggest, but I'm kind of happy this one floated across to me because this was one hell of a thing to learn about. Don't put Nair on your face, though. A lesson to all out there. That's really about it. See ya.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on takeout every week. Done.
I'm getting back on track with Factor. Fresh, never frozen meals prepared by chefs. This saves us so much time when we're chasing around our toddler. I can get all the nutrition I need without having to obsess over it. I never run out of tasty, nutritious dinners thanks to Factor.
Factor has over 40 different dinner options.
Like Protein Plus and Calorie Smart.
I'm sure all of you have noticed, but over the last year or so, I've watched a lot of body cam footage. There is something endlessly interesting about seeing a crazy situation unfolding through the eyes of an officer's nipples. And in general, body cam content has really exploded online, especially on YouTube and TikTok in particular. It's gotten so big, in fact, that now there are channels dedicated to faking them for the sake of making like really outrageous or very inflammatory content that is presented as authentic. So that way people share it, get upset, and they get tons of money off the AdSense from these completely fraudulent body cam videos, and they have been really, really raking in tons of money.
A month ago, I made a video covering the YouTube channel known as Bodycam Declassified. This channel has blown up over the past few months, making fake body cam arrest videos with inflammatory titles and content that they present as real to get millions of views.
Scott Schaefer made 2 videos covering this topic, specifically Bodycam Declassified, who seems to be the biggest culprit. Their videos go viral, at least were going viral pretty frequently, and people were under the impression that it was all legitimate. So they went viral on multiple different platforms. When I'd stream and I'd watch like a police chase or something where a guy hops in a fucking lawnmower and cranks it to 10 miles per hour for the slowest speed chase you've ever seen on the East Coast, now I'd be inundated with requests to check out this catalog of cuckoldry here with these fake body cams from people that were under the impression that they were real, because this channel presents them as such.
Since my initial video on May 29th, Bodycam Declassified has uploaded a total of 10 new bodycam videos, and interestingly enough, 3 of those videos are real bodycam footage videos instead of the normal fake videos they upload. It seems like they are doing this to trick new people into thinking they are a legitimate bodycam channel, but if you spend 15 seconds watching their videos, it's clear by the Darman level acting which ones are actually fake.
It really is Darman level acting. Even from the title, you can see Darman DNA deeply intertwined with this channel's identity here. They have been fucking spliced like it's CRISPR with Darman integrated into it. Like their most popular video about the black FBI agent and how the officer lives to regret it, that kind of thing. But anyway, Scott Schaefer points out that since him and others were talking about Bodycam Declassified, they tried a new tactic of uploading real body cams that were dropped in the middle of all of their fake ones to hopefully confuse people into thinking that it was real, because if they have these morsels of actual body cams mixed in with their fake ones, people will be more likely to think the fake ones are real by giving them the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, that one was real, so this one is also probably real.
My personal favorite new video they uploaded is titled Crazy Karen Vandalizes and Shoots Tesla, which includes some of the worst sound effects and gun recoil acting I've ever seen in a video.
Got safety protocols? Grainger has the Safety Pros 2 call.
I know the footage is hard to look at. It's too realistic. It's shocking. You can see why so many people were deceived by high-quality forgeries like this. I do really like this one as well. The way that she, like, ugh, as if she's fucking shooting a bazooka at the Tesla here. This is how, like, a child thinks a gun works.
Excuse me, ma'am. What do you think you're doing?
What do you mean?
Well, we've had 3 suspicious calls.
Calls for what?
About a suspicious person approaching houses. 3 people in this neighborhood have reported it. You know anything about that?
I surely don't. I'm working.
You're working? And what is it that you're doing? What's your job?
I'm the mail carrier.
You're a government employee. Would you get that costume at the Spirit Halloween store? All right, turn around. You're under arrest.
Sir!
Bag off.
To make matters worse, they even come up with a fake backstory that shows up at the end of the video, claiming the black mail carrier was suspended for 6 months without pay.
Now, as Scott mentions, that last video with the crazy Karen going cuckoo and shooting the Tesla is just silly, but most of them are supposed to be really incendiary. So, like, a lot of them are racially charged ones, like this, about a black mail carrier getting arrested just because of the color of her skin. And even though the acting is atrocious, obviously, it was good enough for a lot of people to buy into it and get outraged, which generates a lot of money for Bodycam Declassified. So they've done very similar ones like this multiple times, all for the same purpose of rage bait to make money.
A clear example they know they may be doing something wrong is they started to add a disclaimer that says, this content is a dramatized reenactment. Any similarities to actual persons or event are purely coincidental. This disclaimer has been added to their most viral videos, like the one titled, Cop Pulls Over Black Judge and Lives to Regret It. When I covered that video last month, there was no disclaimer in the description this was fake, and you can verify that by using the website Wayback Machine to see it was only added recently. They also aren't adding this disclaimer to any of their new fake videos, and seem to have only done this to the videos that went really viral.
Yeah, so the disclaimer was absent when those videos were uploaded and when they were gaining all their steam. It was added after the fact when they had already popped off. Kind of, it seems like, as a way of covering their own ass, because they got so popular and they made so much money off of it that they probably thought that there was a chance they could get in trouble for it, because it is presented as if it's genuine. They go out of their way to try and make these extremely real with no indication that they are reenactments, as they call them. So they probably panicked a little bit thinking that there was some kind of trouble they could find themselves in, some hot water, so they retroactively added that. But as Scott mentions, it's only for those videos when they get to a certain level. Like, their new ones, it's still not there. This video from Scott's about a month old, but their most recent one from a little over a week ago, the HOA Karen, that one also doesn't have a disclaimer in there, despite being a completely fake video too.
Ma'am?
Officer, I am so glad you're here for backup.
I'm sorry, here for what?
Stand back. I am the president of this HOA, and I have this perimeter secured.
Okay, can we stand over here in the shade?
How did anyone think this is real? There are some Karens out there with the fucking body armor.
Yeah, I am the person that's in control here, and this is out of control here.
So you can check the description. It just says crazy HOA gets arrested on body cam. Hashtag body cam, hashtag police. And it ends with her being thrown in the back of the patrol car, which does use actual cherries, it seems. Like, it does actually have the lights and is seemingly a pretty convincing cop car. The only dead giveaway that it's not a real cop car is the side says Coral Palms. You can see it right there in the logo, Coral Palms Police. But there is no Coral Palms Police in the real world. That's a reference to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, at least from everything I can see. I can't find a Coral Palms Police. So they probably were very careful to choose a fictitious place and make their own logo in order to avoid, like, the police department coming after them for presenting a fake arrest as real while also parading around and impersonating their police department. That would be my guess. But yeah, there are some of these fake videos where they do everything they can to make it seem very real. It really feels like this channel wants everyone to believe that what they're presenting is not reenactments per se, but legitimate events, because that's what spreads and it makes people upset, so they get a lot of money for it. They're trying to shove that cock down your throat about how real and authentic they are. This is their channel description. Our channel presents authentic body cam footage sourced through official FOIA, Freedom of Information Act requests, as well as reenactments using professional actors to clarify key events. All reenacted content is original, scripted, and exclusive intellectual property of Media 360 LLC, protected under copyright law. Unauthorized use, reproduction, you get the gist here. Literally reads like the warnings you'd get at the beginning of a VHS tape back in the 90s about how you're gonna be going to jail and fined up to $250K if you fucking copy this movie somewhere else. They're basically bringing that out as well. We'll get you with the fucking strong fist of justice. If you...
Now we're watching it really heavy now. People grift to a side politically is so funny to me.
It's wild. We know who these people are.
Yeah, like
we know who these comedians are. Like, we're talking about comics, and we're just like, there's people doing so well with this grift.
Yeah.
That you go that like, we're all just sitting here like in disbelief.
Liking pictures of his fucking elk meat is gay as.
What if you like elk meat?
You don't like elk meat.
I love
When's the last time you ate
What
elk
if you want to stay in
Tuesday.
his good graces? Oh.
Finally, some honesty from Joe.
No, I like his politics the best.
I do too.
Yeah, I feel like
I like how in touch he is with the average man. That's my favorite part about Rogan. He's just like one of us.
I'm there for the riffing. I love the riffing.
All right, so it seems like every week now there are more and more comedians roasting the Rogan sphere for being out of touch on funny grifters. I mean, it seems like most of the comedy scene outside of Austin just thinks Rogan and his crew are a joke now. You know, once they started focusing more on podcasting than stand-up and prioritized making money over being a respected comedian and started interviewing politicians and oligarchs, that was the beginning of the end. Now we see a lot of other comedians don't really have much respect for them anymore. I mean, some of the Rogan Sphere guys are barely even stand-up comedians at this point. You know, they're mainly podcasters, and stand-up comedy is just a side thing. I mean, I never hear anyone say anything good about Theo Vaughn, Tim Dillon, or Joe Rogan stand-up, and it's clear they don't really care about it that much because they don't need to. As long as they have a popular podcast, they can sell tickets and get Netflix specials. So they have more of an incentive to focus on their podcast over their stand-up. Like, podcasts have really helped comedians promote themselves. You know, now they're making more money than ever, but also it made it so comedians don't really need to care about their stand-up act anymore, which Anthony Jeselnik explained pretty well during this interview he did while promoting his last special. You know, he's been a big critic of the Rogan Sphere and the negative impact it's had on comedy.
I think a lot of comics have gotten bad because they make too much money from the podcast. And so they're putting too much effort into that. I want my effort to go toward the stage.
Oh, you think it's been a little poisonous for the industry? The cotton candy of how sloppy you can be in a form 3 times a week,
Absolutely.
as opposed to the way you do it, which is clearly sculpted very carefully.
I mean, the podcast isn't sculpted. We're just going out there and doing it. But I think people have made so much money from podcasting that it's made stand-up comedy as an art form worse. I think that's without question is happening. People are making more money. If your success is making money, you're doing just as well. But if it's about making the art of stand-up comedy great, it's suffering. It's gotten bad.
And it just keeps getting worse because not only do they care more about podcasting than stand-up, but now they also care more about politics than stand-up. Because I guess just goofing around with your comedian friends on a podcast isn't enough for these podcasters either. You know, there's still more money out there, so they had to become political grifters and start interviewing and hanging out with politicians and tech oligarchs, which I think most comedians outside of Austin and Rogan's inner circle are just laughing at, especially the New York comedians like Dan Soder, who is even pretty friendly with Rogan and has been on his podcast. He's like, what the hell's going on? You know, because he personally knows these comedians. So he's like, to see them get political all of a sudden is wild because I know what they used to be like. I know they're full of shit and they're just doing this for money.
If you're a fan of a comic that just became political,
you have to wonder. We know who these people are.
Yeah, like if
we know who these comedians are. Like, we're talking about comics, and we're just like, we're all just sitting here like in disbelief. Like,
but
and it's like
the absolute ignoring of evidence from the past is mind-boggling. Where you go, well, he didn't act like that, and then all they have to do is go like, yeah, I didn't like the woke mind virus, and you go, that's not even how you talk. And then you see the people that switch, and you go, who are you?
The people that like got involved, like after having no opinion.
That's the craziest
one.
If you ever see me go political, something is wrong. I have lost the ability to write a joke. And I am clawing for money. Or I owe someone a lot of money.
This is what people they must be making so much money.
That's what it is. And then what it is now you're chasing the money, so you're just willing to say whatever you need. And by the way, both sides, far left, far right, it always crumbles. And watching them return.
So I think a lot of these comedians just got greedy, and I think they wanted to be part of the big club that George Carlin used to talk about. You know, they wanted to hang out with the elites. They wanted to be at the presidential inauguration. They want to get flown out to the Middle East with the president. They want to have a seafood dinner with J.D. Vance. You know, they just want to be part of the club. They don't care about their stand-up act at this point or if their podcast is being used as a propaganda tool. They just want money and to be part of the elite, even if that comes at the cost of comedians thinking they're a joke now. You know, it seems like most comedians outside of Rogan's circle just think the whole thing is really bizarre and is hurting the comedy podcast.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices, saving you 20% or more on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Attention hits harder than Fent, and people's quest for that high leads them down dark paths. And today I want to share with you someone that I've followed for a little while now to see if they would ever finally have like a come to Jesus moment and realize how cringe what they're doing is. But it's coming up on a full year of daily degeneracy here.
Today is day 361 of trying to make a phone call with KSI. In this series, I'm posting a video every day doing a KSI tattoo until he calls me. On the 361st day, I continue doing tattoos on my leg. He's not gonna pay you, bro. Guys, why do you think I'm doing this? Why do you think I'm doing this for money? Do you think I had to do this for money? No, I'm spending money doing tattoos. Why do you guys think I'm doing this for money?
He's right, he's doing it for something far less reasonable than money. Nothing. He's doing it for actually nothing, is what he's doing it for. So it's been about a year, and the YouTube rewind for this guy's life has been exclusively KSI tattoos on his body and Instagram reels about it, really. He has almost 400 tattoos of KSI's name, as well as things related to KSI tattooed on himself, from his belly to his legs to his face, and he plans on getting even more, all with the sole goal of trying to get KSI's attention so that maybe he'll finally just say, okay, enough is enough, Buster, we'll talk on the phone real quick. I got like 5 minutes while I'm taking a shit. I'll hear you out. That's the entire plan here. I think it's a dog shit idea, because why would anybody want to communicate with someone that is obsessively tattooing their name on their body? Like, trying to hold their body ransom to get to you? This dude has turned his whole body into a gas station public bathroom stall door. Looking like Jared Leto's the Joker out here with the ha-ha-ha's, except with KSI's name instead. And what's crazy is, KSI actually did reach out. He sent him messages. But that wasn't good enough to satiate this guy's gluttony. He is demanding it be a phone call. Messages will not suffice.
KSI messaged me telling me to stop doing tattoos of his name, and yes, I have almost 400 tattoos of his name. The thing is that I don't really think he doesn't want me to stop. I think he just wants some promo, because I'm doing tattoos of his name. I'm not actually giving him any type of value. So at day 365, I'm gonna tattoo a Prime bottle on my face. For those who are wondering, no, I'm not gonna stop. I will only stop doing tattoos of his name when he calls me. Not a message, a phone call.
You're proving you're delusional. You're outright rejecting him reaching out with an olive branch, and you still expect him to want to call you. Even if he did eventually relent and give you that phone call, it's going to be one out of pity. It's not a phone call that's going to change your life, man. I don't know what he expects to happen on that phone call. If you want something that's going to change your life, start showering with Cheeky soap. It's the best soap in the universe. We made it. It is the best, most moisturizing soap you'll ever use. So go to usecheeky.com right now to get some soap. And maybe if you just abandoned this challenge here and started doing, showering with Cheeky daily until I'm cleansed of all of this clout chasing behavior, you'd find yourself in a much better position.
Today is day 350 of trying to make a phone call with KSI, and today I'm gonna do a tattoo on my hands inside McDonald's. In this series, I'm posting a video every day doing a KSI tattoo until he calls me. On the 350th day, I decided to do a KSI tattoo on my hand inside McDonald's.
It's not even entertaining, it's just sad and pathetic. He's been doing this for a year, and almost no one is watching. The only people watching are the people that are insulting him. Like, if you read his comments, there's no one encouraging it. They're people just trying to finally get through, like, shake some sense into him that this is a waste of his life to keep doing this, all with the hope of having a quick, brief phone call with KSI. And from what I can tell, he's not faking these tattoos. These seem to be permanent tattoos. Of course, you can always get them laser removed later, but it's expensive, it's painful, and it's not exactly something you plan on doing when you get a tattoo, right? So it's still just super fucking stupid. This is just a brain-dead idea. It's not even content that would be, like, exciting for KSI to see, or anybody, for that matter. If he was tattooing anyone's name on there, no matter who it is, I imagine they would be creeped out by this guy and would want nothing to do with them, aside from maybe sending that message saying, can you stop? Like, that's probably as far as this would ever go with anybody, not just KSI. It's just weird. It's cringe.
You guys think I'm gonna eat something? No, I'm gonna sit down. I'm not gonna eat anything. Please, McDonald's, don't sue me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous, but let's go. Let's do this. I'm shaking, guys. I'm gonna tattoo with these hands. I'm not used to, you know? This line right here is hurting as fuck. First letter is done, let's be fast. People are looking like I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a bit crazy, I don't know. I can feel my hand. Ah, shit. Last line, guys.
There's probably a lot of
Fuck,
with
it's done.
that.
Let's
dash
leave.
boost.
They're gonna kick me out, but I'm just gonna leave. But yeah, I did it, guys. I did it. Remember, in 15 days, I'm gonna do a prime bottle on my face, guys. Remember, in 15 days, day 365. Now, I gotta leave. Okay, time to go.
The adrenaline was really pumping on that one. People in McDonald's were looking at him. He could have been kicked out and thrown in the slammer any minute. Except, if you look at the video before he goes in, it looks completely closed. It looks like it was not even open for business at these hours, and he was most likely pretending that there were people watching him just to add some excitement, some anxiety to the video. Oh, the stakes were very high for this KSI hand tattoo, no doubt. And someone called him out in the comments, so then he started arguing. That's another thing. The people that leave comments are usually shooting spitballs at him, but he's right there with his mouth open to catch every single spitball shot at him. He is in the trenches fighting in the comments in so many of these videos, and it's become like a focal point of the content itself now, where he reads hate comments.
Today is day 359 of trying to make a phone call with KSI. In this series, I'm posting a video every day doing a KSI tattoo until he calls me.
On that, like,
on the 359th
it's one of those things
day,
where
I
it like
continued
happened
doing
after
tattoos
10.
on my leg.
and
You
then
say,
fine.
maybe you guys do this because you want
no.
attention, but aren't you trying to get attention from KSI with this ridiculous shit you've been doing? Yes and no. First of all, yes, you guys want attention, because if you didn't, instead of going to my comments, you would message me and say, oh, you need something, or you're okay, or even if you want to hate, you would hate offline, on the DMs, not online. And if you go comment in someone's video, it means that you guys want attention. And no, I don't want attention from
This is Arby's $7 Euro meal. Do the Greeks have a god of meat? If they don't, is there a form we need to fill out? A number to call?
Hey! Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your next comedian. You guys having fun out there still? Do we care about how hot it is in the room? Make some noise for Nate Ortiz, everyone. Nate Ortiz.
I've been on all the apps lately. You know, I've been on Tinder, Bumble, DoorDash. Just looking for love and McNuggets at this point, you know? I'll entertain a Salvadorian man if he's giving me Subway, you know? Just want to watch SmackDown, dude? I even paid $20 for that Tinder Premium to find out the two women I matched with look just like me. Same facial hair and everything. It got to the point I had to ask my buddies for advice. I'm like, hey man, how do I get better matches? How do I beat this algorithm? They're like, Nate, you
Probably
should start
should
losing
just switch
some
to
weight,
Kale
bro.
the moment.
You starting to look like a
Shield,
Puerto Rican
dude.
mom from the back.
But I get my lifesteal.
So I said, wepa, dude. So I updated my Tinder profile. I said from the front, I look like if Hagrid started a Twitch channel. But from the back, dude, looks like I'm washing dishes while salsa dancing. Thank you.
Nate Ortiz. This is your first time on this show, right?
Yes, yeah, for a very first time.
Awesome. How long have you been doing stand-up?
5 years in Houston.
Wow, you're from Houston too, huh? Did you know Shay?
I'm sorry?
Did you know Shay?
I know Shay. We're actually the same weight.
Wow.
Oh. His personal trainer. All right, fuck you guys, dude. It's real. That's.
Nate, what do you do for work?
I actually just got laid off Saturday. Yeah. I was working.
Countries in shambles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
No, they found out that I actually wasn't white and I was fully Puerto Rican, and they let me go.
Where was this job?
I was selling Samsung phones. Not at like a.
No, that's a mostly Puerto Rican job.
Our clientele is very Middle Eastern, very Nigerian. A lot of haggling. I'm not good with it.
Haggling Nigerians.
I don't even know how to spell the word, so I just gave them a good deal.
You have the ass of a phone store manager. I'm surprised I let you go.
I did work at T-Mobile. That's actually the most Hispanic thing about me.
It's crazy.
Oh.
So why exactly did they let you go?
Oh, I was very late 3 times.
Why? Why were you late?
I did coke till 7 a.m.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's why you're shaped like that.
Yeah.
The mixture of bad food and cocaine has you shaped like that.
I say good decisions, but okay. Yeah.
What's the most fun that you've ever had on cocaine until 7 a.m.?
My cocaine song is actually "You Can Call Me Al" by Paul Simon, and I like listening to it in tidy whities. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, you do cocaine by yourself?
Oh, it's the best. I don't have to share with nobody. Yeah.
I've been there, brother.
I just lost my job, Tony. I can't.
Yeah. You get home, you go, oh, I still have some left from the party. Now it's time to keep going. Then you jack off in the mirror. That's a good time.
Till like 9 a.m. dude.
Yeah. It's too much. It's a real negative experience.
Yeah.
But for a while, it's awesome. When you're in your underwear dancing to fucking Paul Simon. Yeah, it's
pretty great. But
that's a good time. Yeah, whatever.
You had a great special on YouTube.
Thank you, man.
It's incredible how much you look like an unhealthy version of one of my friends. Philip, can you come down here? I want to do a side-by-side of you and my friend Philip. Where's Philip at?
Tony, the cocaine, I actually lost like 60 pounds, dude. So this is the healthiest I've been in years.
We're going to do it. Well,
yeah.
Incredible. How much are you still doing a lot of cocaine?
Oh, yeah, I was doing it a lot earlier.
Hell yeah.
You need a bump?
No, I'm good. Permanently good.
Do you have a bump?
Nope.
All right.
I don't do it. How do you afford it if you're out of a job?
I'm not even really a comedian. I do the shows for the pay and the free drink tickets, so that's really it.
You got into fucking comedy for the pay?
No, I got in for the free drinks, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said pay. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
So even for free drinks, it doesn't make sense. Here's a healthy version of yourself. Stand side by side with me.
Like
side by side. Keep going up, Philip. Keep going up. Keep going up. Keep going up. No, stand side by side. Square up to a camera. Look at a camera together. Look at the one on the right over there. Look at that guy. Yeah. See the faces? That's what you could look like if you just ate sushi and didn't do cocaine.
Hey, Phil, you've been losing a little weight.
I have.
Yeah, because when you were chubby, you really did look like that guy.
I lost 30 pounds, not like 130.
Yeah.
So you're saying you should do meth? That's the thing.
Excuse me.
That's actually more expensive. But I tried. No. All right.
So, incredible. Philip, do you have any advice for him on exactly how to get his life together?
Well, I lost like 30 pounds. Not. You need to learn a little bit more than that. Eat healthy. Drink a lot of water.
Yeah, you ever hear that?
Do less coke. I don't know.
Or more.
How much
I know, Tony. I know you saw me hesitate.
I need
because when you said Philip,
an IE with bloodthirster at the same
Philip
time.
No,
I don't look anything like this dude.
Yeah, you look exactly like him. You have the exact same face. Unfortunately, he's just so much fatter, only I can see it. But yeah, you have the same face. If something terrible happened and you completely went Lieutenant Dan on yourself, this is what you would look like.
I feel like this sucks for both of you right now.
Yeah, it does. Philip has a new podcast on the Your Mom's House Network. What's that called?
The Not a Damn Chance podcast.
Not a Damn Chance podcast. There you go. There's a free plug. There goes Philip. And Nate Ortiz. Anything else crazy we should know about you? You seem like you have a lot of backstory to you.
My ex-girlfriend was